over the course of the last few months it's been on. Hope you guys are going to be catching as much as you can of the Mystic Quest as well, and then be there for the grand finale later on in the year.
It looks like our racers are getting off to their starts here. So the beginning boss, which is supposed to be your tutorial boss, guess what? It can kill you.
It can. It can. And it takes very, very little can be the deciding factor in this. All it takes, I think, is if it's you miss once and he crits once, you can't win. Pretty much because of how much damage he does to you. I guess unless you have to get a crit back or something, but yeah, the chances are if he crits you and you miss once, you're probably going to lose. It takes just one simple, I want to say error, but it's nothing you can do about it. It's the game.
Yeah.
So here we are. He has, what is it, 95 HP?
Yeah. So basically, it takes swings with your sword, non-crit attacks, in order to get rid of the behemoth.
So it's about, I think it's about, well, if he has 100, that's exactly how much it is. So both players, we've got a victory for Boarum. Round of applause for them. Yeah.
Nice.
Clappers all round. And Netara is forgetting to press buttons. She's holding down the button. Needs to remember to not hold down the button, but mash the menus there.
She's definitely newer, and she only did post her second full run last night, so...
Yeah, it's one of those things that, although you can hold down the button to mash a lot of stuff in the game, especially the end game stuff, you do need to be hitting that button really, really fast in order to get the text off the screen when you do an action. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if she picks that one up. Because it might cost her a lot of time per fight if the note saying what's going on is going to be consistently popping up for her.
Right. I mean, granted, we do change the message speed, of course,
yes,
but it still is a lot faster to mash it than to leave it be.
So far we've got Netara just going for her change now. There it is. The message speed up to 1 over to the shameful the figure, not scale, and into Forrester. This is just basic kind of like pick up stuff, you know, hitting some story plot triggers, grabbing Kaylee from her house on the left, and then picking up the cure spell, because it will be very, very handy, and let's say necessary for all of the sections where Benjamin, our mighty hero, will be by himself over the course of this game.
Yep, and so your partner can be on auto or they can be on manual, so the auto is kind of like a little AI autopilot. And for some of the fights, you're going to want Kelly to be on auto. For some of the fights, you're going to want to switch her over to manual. Because what ends up happening is Ben does about half the damage to these enemies. And if you leave Kelly on auto, she's just going to snipe your half-killed monster, and it takes an extra turn. So it is better to keep switching her back and forth during these first 2 fights.
Yes, indeed. You can do that in battle as well. It's not just a case of leaving it out of battle. You can make up that kind of decision. So LNR changes weapons, and the Y button changes. I don't know. That just changes it all around. So you can kind of do that before you input your attack. As soon as you select what you're going to do and the target, it'll instantly go over to Kaylee's turn. You've got to make sure that you know what you're on and where you are as you go.
Unfortunately, Boarum gets a lot of misses here.
Yeah.
Well, you did say it was Mystic Quest.
I did. Our players are also going to be looking for crits as well from Benjamin, because that will speed up the fight again tremendously. Boarum now onto the first battle, the first boss here with the Minotaur, who is an undead type monster, so you can just drop a life on him and it will one-shot him for the 240 he has and take him out. So certain bosses do have this strange thing where they don't have the boss flag on them as a unit, so there are certain types of things that can be done to them that shouldn't be, as they're a boss enemy. But yeah, we'll see that later on.
Yeah, it's also strange to consider how many different enemies that lifesteal actually works on, even though you would never consider them to be an undead type.
Yeah, there are loads of enemies that just kind of it's almost like, I mean, we always say it's an undead type of thing when like cure spells deal damage, and you know, revival spells or items, you know, instant kill. But yeah, I guess it's kind of just considered a different property in this game, really, isn't it? I mean, some of the enemies, as you say, just aren't even undead. They're just like, I don't know, like the weird Sphinx things in the Manticores in Zuzu's Tower. They can be life for some reason. I don't.
Yes, so can the sorcerers, and I think the Thanatos can as well.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, yeah, why not? It's almost like pure holy energy. Pure holy energy.
Boarum has picked up Tristram, who misses a damn hell of a lot. He's your first slightly long-term partner here as you're going through the Bone Dungeon, and unfortunately, he really does miss a lot with those ninja stars.
Yeah, you'd think because, you know, he's a ninja, he throws stars, he'd be quite accurate, but I think he must have like skipped out of that part of his ninja training. It's kind of I'm not really feeling the shurikens. I'm fine with, you know, katanas and straight blades, but you know, whatever.
And as they go through the Bone Dungeon, they're going to be looking for formations of 2 or less because of Tristram's penchant for missing. It's not good to fight a 3 formation enemy in this first dungeon.
Yeah, as you said, we want those 2 because you can 1-turn it, and it keeps your resources nice and clean. You get as many as you can because obviously a limited amount of bombs, and it's going to be quite precise how many we use as we go on, or how many is intended to be used. The only caveat to having less, like if you're getting a 1 or a 2, and you know you can 1-turn a 2 enemy encounter. If you get a lot of 1s, you actually get less experience, and it won't matter in the long term because obviously the amount of experience we get obviously increases and we'll hit a certain cap. But there are certain points. There's one certain point, like halfway through the second part of the game, where we're actually going to want to see a certain level be hit. And if you get enough 1 enemy encounters, you can miss that, and it might make 1 boss a bit tricky.
Right. But as we go through the dungeon, Boarum and Netara are going to pick up... Is my mic dead?
I don't know. I can hear you myself. I can hear you.
That's weird. Let me try just restarting the Discord real... Oh, okay. It's fine. Thanks, chat. But as you get further into the dungeon, these 2 are going to pick up seeds as their first item. And they're going to want to duplicate those seeds. So they are going to want a couple of 3 enemy formations just because you're going to run from them anyway. So in order to duplicate the seeds, you do need to run from the battle. So it is going to be helpful if they get these kind of formations regardless.
So the duplication is kind of interesting the way it works. So you use the item. You have to put your AI partner on manual for this because you need to kind of access their side of the menu. If they're on auto, it'll just go and you'll use the seed. So if you go into your items and use the item, say you're going to use a seed on yourself, and then you are currently hovering over your AI partners or your teammates menu, you can then back out and then go back to the main menu and run. So the game uses the item in itself. It takes away 1 from your inventory. Then when you back up, it kind of gives you back 1. But then when you run, it kind of gives you back 1 to having already not used any at all, which is really weird. So it just kind of like gives you back the one that you used in inverted commas, despite the fact that you actually haven't used one. So it's odd.
It is, but at least it comes in useful for this run because the seed management, especially when we get to the next area, is going to be super important. And we need to have that space filled in the inventory up until we get the heal potions in our inventory.
Yes, indeed. And obviously, yeah, we'll get to that very, very shortly, as Boarum is now facing off against the Flamerous Rex. A nice, fiery, dead dragon bone thing. So you notice that heal can miss because everything can miss. Like, I'm pretty sure one day we're just going to drop a flare and it's going to miss. Yeah.
Oh, if that happens, then that's it. I rage quit.
Oh, God, that'd be nuts. Just, you know, your final turn on Zyu in, you know, the end on PB Pace. Final turn on Zyu and flare misses, and then he just doom dances Phoebe and then you. Yeah, nice.
Oh man.
Don't give anyone nightmares. Sorry.
That's a fight, man. Feels bad.
Your game is roughly about 220, 215, 220. Half of the leaderboard is actually below 215, and half of the leaderboard is above 215. So 215 is a rough estimate. Oh, it's me. Sorry, I have things going on. Yep. Switching on to streamer mode. Apologies.
Whoops.
Yeah. And it never happened before. I don't know what's doing it. Bing. There we go.
So Boarum is through the Flamosaur fight. Not too bad, not too trolly, always good. And we'll see how Netara does. In all honesty, even though we are still very close to the beginning of the game, any one of these bosses can still troll the heck out of you, believe me. And unfortunately, because Tristram's only spell is life, when he does get below a certain point, you need to have him heal himself with life because he won't do it himself. It's not programmed the same way in the AI as a cure spell is. And if your partner dies, Ben is basically 1 or 2 shotable, and that's the end of your fight. You got to redo it. And
yeah, that is one of the kind of shortcomings of the AI versus the actual game mechanics, where you can, as RPGC said there, you can actually use Cure Life to cure your HP and all of your status ailments. Yeah, but the thing is, the AI won't do it unless the character is dead on their side, despite the fact that it is his only cure spell. What is quite nice that you do want to see sometimes as well is if you know that your AI partner or your partner character goes after the boss and the boss is likely to kill Benjamin, you can input an attack and actually heal Benjamin anyway with the life, despite him not necessarily needing it. And then you'll get outturned, Ben will die, your partner character will revive Ben, and then Ben will get his turn off anyway. So the game retains the turn, which is quite smart. This is quite a dangerous position now for Netara. She needs to use a seed! Oh no! Okay, it comes down to this. Oh no! That's a shame. Running out of life there was really unfortunate for her.
Yeah, Flamosaur just kept hitting Ben, and that's really not the ideal situation here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is one of those ones that is a lot more as fine as it is just to kind of let him take some hits sometimes, because of the limited resources you have in his early fight. It's important to kind of to make sure that he doesn't take too much of a stunging, because as I said, you've only got so many resources.
Yeah, unfortunately, Netara, she's just getting some really bad luck.
Yeah. One of those things that just happens in this game sometimes.
Well, Netara did have a lot of single formations, so that could explain why she's level 3 instead of level 4, and why she's having a little bit extra trouble here.
Yeah, being level 3 is actually quite tough for this, because it's mainly an HP thing. Having 40 HP and that little bit of extra stats just does allow Ben to be that bit tankier than he is. We've pretty much if he takes one hit of anything, Netara's going to have to basically look after Ben. But if she can get away with not needing to as much if he is level 4, so a bit of a shame, unfortunately. And that's exactly, as I was mentioning earlier, the shortcomings of getting too many one enemy encounters.
Right, but she is through the battle now, so she's okay. This is fine. Jake, it doesn't matter if Ben dies during any of the encounters. He is the only one who gains experience during any point of this game. The partners never do. So even if he's dead, experience.
Okay, so Netara getting through her Flamerous Rex. Getting the Crystal of Earth. As Boarum makes his way over to Aquaria, where we're going to just be, again, hitting a few more story triggers. Finding out that Spencer is underground, and the ice is, the water's all frozen, so we can't go and see him. We need to find a way to melt the ice and recover Aquaria from its current plight. The first option we have is to go over to the Watery Cave, because Phoebe knows that the Libra Crest is over there, and that's a way to get into the inner sanctum of the Libra Cave.
Right, and Phoebe's an interesting character. She is our favorite, personally, and she is a very powerful magic user. But the nice thing is a lot of the time, if you get a formation in which all the monsters are exactly the same, like this one that Boarum has on his screen, you can leave her on auto and she'll just know exactly what to do against these monsters, and she'll either all fire them or whatever their weakness happens to be. However, in the first round, if you notice, there was a frog in there along with the scorpions, and Boarum had to manually put Phoebe on fire all. When one of the monsters is different, she gets a little confused, and you have to tell her the right way to do it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's because she's designed to think that she won't end the turn in one fight. The AI is kind of like designed to do the best option to get rid of everything and to get rid of all the things in one go. And now, because she can't kill the frog as well, she won't go for that option in auto. But the thing is, she can still damage the frog and lethally kill and lethally damage everything else, the hedgehogs or the scorpions, whatever it may be. So you actually do have to kind of force that to happen by, as you say, switching to manual, allowing the fire to happen, and just finishing off the frog with Benjamin. So here, because it's two separate enemies, again it thinks, oh, I can't do it, because it's two enemies that she knows she can kill, but one that is just not the same as the other two. So it just kind of gets confused. Again, you can one turn that. You just have to make it happen yourself.
Right. So, in addition to keeping track of the seeds as we go through this area, it's also going to be really important to keep track of Phoebe's magic spell count. So the magic in this game works very similarly to the original Final Fantasy, where you have spell charges. And because Phoebe only has a certain amount of wizard spells and black magic spells, you need to keep track of when she starts to run low and when she actually runs out, so that you can reseed her and give her another boost and full supply of magic for the next set of enemies.
Yeah. It might just be a case of, if you have one charge left, and that charge is the charge you need to be able to one turn the next fight, you're kind of going to be basically down one extra charge going into the next section, which, you know, it may catch up on you, it may not, depending on how lucky you get with certain setups. But you know, you don't want to take that risk when you can just maximize the efficiency of usage.
Right. I mean, if worse comes to worse, you can always dupe another seed, but you do have to be careful to make sure that you do have one seed in your inventory when you're in the near the end of the ice pyramid, coming up in a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. So Phoebe joining Benjamin on Netara's side. Thunder here dealing with the turtles quite quickly. So this is kind of where it gets a little bit interesting. This is where we might have, depending on formation, it might go well or not. So we're going to see a Thunder on all from manual, otherwise she wouldn't do that. She'd go with a bow to maybe knock down one of the centaurs. But you see, with the bomb and a Thunder all is enough to take it down. Fire 4 left and 3 wizard.
How did you see that? Or were you just counting?
Oh no, I saw it. Yeah, I mean, obviously you can see the charge count in the thing. So, going to go for a regular attack on the hedgehog on the right, and then a quake is enough to take down 2 worms, because a quake is their weakness. So, down they go.
Right. Alternatively, you can leave Phoebe on auto for that battle, and she'll flame the hedgehog, and the same thing, quake for the 2 landworms. But Boarum is in the last part of the Wintry Cave now, so he's just got a few more battles before he gets to the Squidite, which is the next mini-boss coming up.
He's used his final Thunder Charge there, which is obviously on those turtles, which makes this fight very, very nice. A confusion on Phoebe, which is lovely, which opens up Benjamin to finish off the final centaur with a bomb. Nice, clean fight. Obviously, you want to get the outturn for speed's sake, but there is the seed charge there. I'm pretty sure the spell count is 4-2-1 from white to black to wizard, isn't it? I keep saying it, but I never actually kind of see the numbers to confirm. But I think it's 20, 10, and 5. That Phoebe's got. So.
Something like that, yeah. But I know it's 10 and 5 because that's how I usually keep track as I go along. The white magic isn't as detrimental to keep track of because she has so many charges.
Yeah, you can just kind of keep going. Triple turtle is nice, I must say, because it's just such a free win. Just pop a thunder and then you're done. Again, we're going to go for triple thunder into bomb, and that'll be enough to take out everything. And Benjamin getting the outturn, very nice. Good old Benji.
You might be a little behind, Bowie. You might want to refresh.
Only 20 minutes already. This is going well.
Great fight already.
That's strange. Maybe everything on my internet side is playing up. I've had some up and down today. Okay, yes, there we go. Squidite fight happening. Nice.
Okay. So the Squidite fight is pretty nice. Even if Ben dies, it really doesn't matter. Phoebe is at a high enough level that she can really tank through this fight, and the Bow of Grace has a pretty decent chance of critting, which it did just before. It's this fight pretty simple unless Phoebe gets a crit on, I should say.
Yeah. Nice clean finish for him there, though. That's all good.
So they're picking up the Libra Crest, and they're going to head back into the inner part of the Libra Temple. Unfortunately, since we don't have the exit spell yet, we still have to backtrack through all of these dungeons.
Exit spells are very, very powerful white magic that will come in handy not only in the maps but also in battle as well. Very, very easy. Well, very, very strong spell, and actually quite easy to obtain as well. So one to watch out for.
I love in the randomizer when you get exit in the first dungeon.
I haven't actually seen too much of the randomizer. I know there is one, and I've seen people play it, but I haven't actually seen the whole thing. And like, I don't know, is it like you start with like a silly amount of HP or something, or like, you know, when because your partner your partner character's 8 HP is randomized as well, and then like, you know, Phoebe 2's got like 120 HP, and it's like, what am I going to do with this? So right now Boarum's level 7, and he's going to be looking to hit level 8 before the end of the next bit. But before we go there, we need to return to the Libra Temple with the crest, go inside to the inner sanctum, and find out that the Spring of Life has actually dried up. So we have not got any more idea what to do to save Aquaria. But the old man happens to be here with 1 pouch of wake water available, handy. So we'll go and see what we can do with this 1 pouch of wake water.
And the interesting thing is this is really the only time you have to speak to that old man in the entire duration of the game, outside of the beginning cutscenes, of course.
Yeah, he does appear all over the place, and you can speak to him, and he tells you mildly interesting stuff. But yeah, not needed, unfortunately.
I mean, unless you want to know, how cheap his coffee is for some reason.
That's a lovely roast. What is that? Colombian gold. Great.
So getting into the waterfall basin over here, there's going to be a non-casual way in which we use the pillars to our advantage to skip a couple of fights, which is really nice. And I didn't know that was a thing until I started watching the speedruns of this game.
For me, when I first saw the speedrun of the game, it had been so long since I last played it that I thought that it was the intended way to do it. Completely forgot about the right-hand side. When I played it again, I was like, oh yeah, there's that entire corner.
Not that there's really anything up there, so...
Yeah, pretty much. I've always found it very intriguing, is like when it comes to speedrunning, how it actually warps your general memory of the game sometimes, or specific things that if you played the game, you may have played the game like hundreds of times, you know it inside out, but then you start speedrunning it for so long, and then you just kind of go, oh, I don't actually know how X works or how X or Y works, just because you haven't done it in so long, because it's not necessary in the speedrun route.
Oh yeah, at some point I imagine I'm just going to completely forget how to get through the volcano properly.
Yeah.
So Boarum actually ran out of Thunder spell charges here. Not too big of a deal, he got lucky with the Lamias, but he is going to probably recharge before he gets to the crab fight up top.
but I certainly would recommend it personally. Nice,
Yes.
crisp inputs here on the movement.
Where we skip that part of the cave.
It is quite a clever little bridge over, just being able to. It's just kind of about seeing that it's actually a space. It is exactly one spare tile away, so you can do the jumps around rather than kind of going up there. Grabbing the heal spell because that'll come in very, very handy as we move forward, and then engaging the snow crab. So first of all, it'll be a fire on all and then a bomb to get rid of the two. I can't remember their names. Things on the side. And leave the snow crab by himself, and then we're going to go full in on the axe and thunder spells until we run out, and then Bow of Grace to kind of just burst down this snow crab as soon as possible. He's very powerful. Being level 8 really does help here, just in terms of supply.
Well, not only that, but he seated Phoebe just before the fight, so he's got a full 5 thunder charges.
Which is nice, and the confusion, which isn't great, but we'll just keep going. Hopefully Benjamin will do something positive, like getting hit. That's good. What's good though is because Phoebe is so astronomically powerful at this point, him targeting Benjamin for the most part isn't too worrying because it just allows Phoebe a free hit. But that's a really good fight against Snow Crab, just as Netara there finishes up her squid eye. Had a pretty clean fight from what I saw when I was glancing over. Managed to get through that nice and quickly.
So now we're going to enter the pyramid. The pyramid for this part of the game is just a little long. It's not the longest dungeon. It's not the most aggravating dungeon. But for this part of the game, it seems like it. And it seems like you're never going to get past it. And then you get to worse dungeons. You get into much worse dungeons. What are you dropping over there?
I don't know. Things are just falling around me. My entire world is coming just crashing down. This is... Okay. Alright, we're back to normal. Okay. Mystic Quest. Apologies. Very unprofessional. Life is tough. One thing to notice is we did actually get a jumbo bomb upgrade just after defeating the snow crab, so a lot more damage coming out of the bombs, which is quite handy as we're going to see some new enemies which do have a little bit of extra HP, and some enemies that do also have a weakness to bombs. So the upgraded damage from those bombs will make it very easy to kind of finish off some monsters that we may not have otherwise been able to.
Right. You're also going to find that a couple of the enemies in here are also weak to the bombs as well. So the additional damage, plus some of them having a weakness to it, will make them very useful. But you do have to keep an eye on your bomb count because you do want some bombs to go into the ice golem fight with.
Indeed. They're a good source of damage, but also we want to make sure we have a certain amount. So. We're gonna really use up our bombs throughout the pyramid, but you gotta make sure as you just gotta be if you can see a way out without using them, you gotta try your best to try and take it.
Unfortunately, you don't get the Night Sword until almost the very end of the dungeon, because the Night Sword is not a bad alternative, but just because of its late access, it doesn't make it terribly useful.
A Fanquid and a Sphinx. So we're going to see a life dropped on the Sphinx here, and that will allow a one-shot from the Jumbo Bomb on the Fanquid, which is very, very nice, making that fight nice and clean.
Right.
As Netara is just pushing around the quest blocks in Fool's Basin.
Yeah, that's one of those monsters. Like, why does life work on that monster?
Yeah. You're undead? Dang.
Thanks, coding.
Whatever works, right? Okay, so this is one of the more annoying encounters in the Ice Pyramid. You can't actually one-turn this. You just can't. So you just let Phoebe go for the Bow of Grace and one-shot one of the birds in the middle. Because normally what you'll see old man Higgins over there in the corner decide to go for a heal, which means that you can finish off the other bird with the Bow of Grace, allowing the bomb to finish off. Now, hopefully, we're going to see a defend bomb. Good. I've seen people drop thunders on that, which I think thunders are a little bit too precious.
Are you trying to throw shade my way, Mr. Bowie?
Trying to throw shade your way because you threw thunders at the beholders, yeah.
Still had enough charges, so there.
I'm just saying. I mean, the thing is, you had enough charges because you got a lot of seeds. If you're, being a bit more, to the line and, trying to cut it as thinly as possible, you wouldn't have that luxury now, would you?
I didn't do it today. I was good today.
Good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So yeah, this room is one of those confusingly long ones because, okay, so in case anyone's wondering, obviously there are enemies here. The reason we can't see them is that it is a magic mirror that allows you to see the monsters. The only issue is with this game is that because enemies are statically spaced in and placed in the way that they don't change, you're going to be fighting them anyway. So what's the point in grabbing the mirror just to see where they are if we're going to be going that way? So just go and fight them.
Yeah, the only way you run into extra enemies is if you happen to not know which way you're going as you're going through the dungeon. And then that's your fault. Yeah,
that is entirely your fault. No one to blame but you. But the thing about it is as well that it gives you this... It's very mentally confusing because you see this open pathway and you're like, oh man, free walking. Oh yeah, and you're like, ah! No. And then you have to get through a long fight, and it could be 3 birds, and it's really annoying. And then you have to make a little walk, and then there's another one, and it just kind of slowly adds to the grind that is this room. Look at that, and it just weaves in and out, and it's like you're going down like 5 tiles at a time. You have to go across 5 tiles as well to make it possible. Whew.
Well, this is definitely the worst floor in the pyramid in terms of the amount of encounters, because you have to go all the way over to the right to poke the statue, and then you have to go all the way back over to the left to get up to the next floor.
Goodbye, buddy. And Netara is making her way through Captain Snowcrow over there. She did hit level 8 as well, actually, I noticed, so that was some good encounters for her to kind of catch up that level she was missing.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be good.
Yeah, the arrows, unfortunately. I noticed that she's opting for the bombs as well. I think she's picked up some extra ones, so she's able to do that and get through the snow crab. So nice and clean from her. Gets her jumbo bombs and will now make her way towards the pyramid.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having extra bombs in your inventory, especially for this part of the run.
Allows you to be a little bit more fancy-free with them, doesn't it?
A little bit. And there's a couple of places in here, technically, that you can pick them up on the way out if you really need to, but you also pass by them a couple of times in the focus tower as well as you're going back and forth between the areas. So, it's not the worst thing in the world to be a little bit low on bombs on your way out of here.
So there's damage to using thunder on 2 on all 3 of them will one-shot the beholder, allowing the jumbo bomb to deal enough damage to take out the last 2 remaining sphinxes. So we're going to actually fall down back into here because we're going to grab the heal potions. Well, I'll explain that very momentarily, but the thing we're in here for, as well as the heal potions, is the very lovely noble armor. Now, what the noble armor does is it increases our defense by a nice little chunk, but the biggest thing is that it gives us water resistance. And obviously the next boss coming up, the ice golem, is a water-based enemy, so we'll have a resistance against his attacks, meaning that we aren't going to get absolutely obliterated, which is lovely. Very handy to know.
It's nice not to get completely obliterated in a battle. I mean, I'm sure if people were going for YOLO strats, they would wait to jump down at the end because it is technically slower to go down here first and then go back up. But I think the amount of risk that you would take in the fight with the ice golem would not be worth it.
Now, indeed, and just as we say that, Boarum has used up his final seed. He's going to probably make the way through the rest of this dungeon using his thunders and kind of keep his fires, or as many as he can, for Mr. Ice Golem at the end, the regent of Ice Pyramid. So, using the fire there from Netara, thunder would be the one to end that fight. So we picked up the items in this very specific order. So we grabbed the seeds in the Bone Dungeon first, and when we're leaving, we pick up the heal potion in Bone Dungeon. This puts seeds in slot 1, heal potions in slot 2.
Cure potions.
At the beginning of the pyramid, Netara picked up some refreshers, and they'll be in slot 3. And then finally, in the same room as the noble armor, Boarum also picked up the heal potions, putting the heal potions into slot 4. This is very specific. It's part of the route. Try to make sure that if you are picking this game up, to know exactly when you're getting those items, to have that in that order as well, which will be part of a glitch coming up after this dungeon and a little bit extra. But we've used up all of our seeds. We've got an open space in slot 1. That's important. Do not change your weapon, Boarum. I saw that. I mention it every time. Runners, if you're in this tournament, please. Sorry, go ahead.
You said heal potions twice. It is the cure potions that we pick up on the exit to the Bone Dungeon.
Oh, did I say heal twice? Sorry. They heal you.
I understand. I'm just saying, they are cure potions, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I failed you all.
But Boarum should be able to make it through the last 3 encounters here with his thunder spell pretty easily, because it's either going to be Lamia's, which you have to use thunder for, or it'll probably be some combination of Sphinxes and/or Beholders, which you either can use thunder for or use life spells for.
Yeah.
So he'll be able to save all of his fire charges, which is good. Because I don't think he picked up fire on the way Netara did, but I don't think Boarum did.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that the faster you get and more confident, you don't need it, but it's quite nice to have it if you're a newer runner, just to be able to, with certain fights, blitz down your opponents. Getting the fire on Netara. Confusion. Okay, so I believe that's the final fight of the Ice Pyramid for Boarum. He'll make his way now towards the Ice Golem himself.
Yep.
As Netara hits the big floor pyramid. The jump strat's very nice. Okay, so Ice Golem, I'll let our RPGC kind of go into detail. But remember, we picked up the Night Sword, which is +5 speed, which is quite an important thing to note later on. But we do have that Night Sword picked up from earlier. But go ahead, RPGC. I'll let you take Ice Golem.
Ice Golem, very similar to the Flame Missor, is another one of the big kind of elemental bosses here. And of course, most of his attacks are water-based. I'm a little surprised, though, unless that was a crit, to do so much damage to Phoebe. Thanks to the resistance glitch that you did not see at the beginning that was set up before the races. These characters, these partners that Ben has, basically have endgame Phoebe resistances to things, including defense and things that she's not weak to, like water and wind and things like that. And it makes the game a lot easier to go through. Unfortunately, once the Ice Golem gets below a certain value of HP, he's going to start using a water, drain healing spell for himself. It is very spammy, he does it all the time, and it cures him for about 200 HP a pop every time he does it. Luckily, though, because Boarum does have a fair amount of bombs at his disposal, which will do the most damage for Ben outside of the fire spell, and Phoebe with 606 HP decrease every time she hits with fire. It's not too bad of a battle, but you do have to watch Phoebe's HP, because if she dies and you're not close enough to the end, you do risk having to do the battle over again.
Saying that Phoebe's by herself and the flame, is it enough for the fire? It is. Okay,
oh, that was nice. Okay.
It was a really good fight, actually, yeah. Very nice from
Those were
Boarum.
some nice yellow strats at the end.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do it. You gotta just believe in Mystic Quest.
As long as you're keeping track of the HP damage, usually it's not too hard to go for those yellow strats, but sometimes you get unlucky.
Yeah, I think the most important thing about this, I know you mentioned this on a previous race, is that damage is actually set. It's all kind of your damages will always pretty much be the same regarding what you do. So there's no fluctuation in how much damage you do. So as long as you're within realm to do it, it's not like I got to take the risk that I'm going to deal enough damage. It's a case of I can do the damage. Go for it.
Yeah, even as you go through the speedrun guide, it even tells you, hey, this is how much damage each of these weapons and spells is going to do on him, so these are your best options.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be the last time, luckily, that we have to backtrack our way out of a dungeon, because our next stop is going to be the battlefield that gives us the exit spell. It is the only battlefield that we take on in the course of the run.
Yep. So I believe the 100% category doesn't actually take them all out, because they're only doing the ones that give you specific rewards and items that fill up the inventory. Because obviously 100% it says all armor, all items, all weapons as well. But yeah, and all spells, but not all battlefields. So if anyone wants to root all battlefields,
have fun with that.
let Elmagus know. I'm sure he'd love you for it. Yeah. Hey Goose, we've got a brand new category. It's called All Battlefields. How long do you reckon? And he's like, dang, dude. 19 hours. Look at them. There's so many of them.
Oh my god.
So each battlefield is 10 individual fights, where you could get horrible formations or lovely formations, like a singular Fanquid. Down he goes with the bomb. So that's a lovely formation. And that's an awful formation.
Oh, that's one Sphinx. So it is possible, because I had it today, to have no Sphinxes as you go through these 10 battles. It is possible, but it is extremely rare. On average, it's about 3 or 4 Sphinxes.
Yeah. 0 Sphinxes is sweet, to put it simply.
But
3 so far already for Boarum. He's having a bit of a nightmare.
Well, hopefully this will be the last one he gets.
Yeah, exactly. The bad thing about it, I find, is not just the fact that you have to run away from it and you can't do it, but you will normally be surprise attacked by them as well, so you have to watch their animations. You can't just flee from it immediately. You sometimes get the unexpected attack on the solo as well, but on the double, it's not just the case that you have to run and you can't do the fight, but you actually have to just... Oh, man. And Netara on the left-hand side there, just making her way towards the noble armor now. Just trying to work out this fight. Bomb and bow is her main option she wants here.
Yeah, if she puts Phoebe on auto, Phoebe will automatically use bow on the bird, and then Ben is free to bomb the two not beholders, whatever they're called over here. Beholders is the one in Pazuzu's tower.
Oh, right. They're just big old eye guys. That's the official name. So what we want to see here is thunder on all. There we go. Okay, cool. So I'm pretty sure that the guides out there tell you exactly what you want to do per encounter.
Oh yeah, it definitely does, and certain people have even abbreviated Magus's guide to just include the different battle formations and the different techniques to use against them. I believe JC had done that for us very nicely.
Thank you very much, JC. All those resources, documentation, very important in speedrunning, guys. If you are picking up a new run or routing a brand new game, make sure to always document that as you go, because it's one of the biggest and most important resources to have as you go forward. There's the exit spell. Bing, bang, boom. Boodling bang! Sorry. Into the focus tower, and we're going to push a little block, which normally if you leave areas, blocks don't stay there, but this one we instinctively know does stay there. So we're going to give that a cheeky little push, and then exit our way out. Boom. And done. So you can see how quick exiting is, and we won't have to deal with that anymore for the rest of the game.
Yeah, which is really, really nice. Although, except unless you're like me and you just kind of forget you have it sometimes.
Yeah, I do that. Just, just completely walking out of the Zuzu's tower from like. Well, no, you can't. You have to exit. I'm trying to think of one. A funny one. Let's think of a funny one. I don't know. Walking out of the tree completely, or Mount Gale. Mount Gale's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh man, so we're gonna make our way towards Fireberg, which is where we're gonna get our major skip for this run. We're basically gonna only spend, I don't know, 2 minutes over here, if that much.
Well, there's only a Fireberg village here anyway. You go in,
right?
You check into the hotel, 5-star resort, obviously, where they sell seeds. Now, the interesting thing is you can actually buy 0 seeds as an item. Now, you can use 0 seeds, and it underflows the amount of seeds to 255. And then we got some sky coins and stuff. So we then buy 19 potions. That's a very important amount to buy. And basically, what this does is it underflows and jiggles around all of your inventory. So we now have fire coins and sky coins, which allows us to go to the next area. So no lava dome, no volcano. They exist, huh? What do you mean? So we can just use the fire coin that we immediately get, and then just go through to the third section, which is the forest area. We've already been in a forest area, but another forest area, which is nice. It's really, really nice.
It also puts a sandwich in your pocket.
So, well, I'm trying to. I don't know the whole sandwich thing about Fireberg. What am I missing here? It's been mentioned before, and it went over my head, and I just let it go. But I'm curious as to know what on earth is going on with this whole sandwich debacle.
So, since Bowie is not from the United States, Bowie is unaware of what a Reuben sandwich is.
Oh, a Reuben sandwich.
So, yes. There's every time Reuben appears, I call him a sandwich because he's just about as useful as a sandwich.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, he just gets attacked by a mummy and falls off. And you just erase him from existence. So, exit can erase enemies from existence. The only caveat of that is you don't get any experience for the kill, in inverted commas, of the enemy. So, yeah, just a thing to know.
Unfortunately, that means we are stuck back with Miston again, but luckily only for a very short amount of time. Because we're going to head into the Alive Forest instead of the Level Forest. Who the hell come up with those names? But
Enix?
All we have to do is get to the Great Tree. Get to the Great Tree, find out it won't let us in because it won't talk to us. We're not hippie tree huggers like Kaylee. And then we gotta go get her.
Because although we're not hippie tree huggers, we most certainly need one. To Glastonbury. They're all over there, listening to their music and waving their glow sticks.
So Tristram is very useless against the mummies. His even unless he crits, his ninja stars are not able to do enough damage, even in 2 turns, to kill one of these mummies. So when we get to the formations here, the best thing is actually to have the sword equipped for the speed, and to exit them as fast as possible, and hopefully not get 1,000,003 formations of mummies that you have to fight your way through. He can, however, handle the ghosts, which is not so bad.
Yeah, because again, they're a flying type Pokemon. No, they're because they're airborne. The shoot type attack, which is what the Shuriken deals damage to them. Small little thing that I like to talk about, and I love it because it's just so interesting. The Spectres before were bouncing, weren't they? They aren't bouncing anymore. No siree. So flying enemies, if there are just flying enemies on the screen, they bob up and down, showing that they're flying. However, if they're paired up with a grounded enemy, they won't be bobbing, because the enemy kind of like sprite corridor, let's say, or like the little line of enemies is all one set. So if they're all flying, it'll be like a moving set of pixels. But if it's not, it's just set in stone.
You know, that's a really funny and very nice glitch about the randomizer. If you have one flying enemy in your formation in the randomizer, they actually all bob up and down, even if they're not supposed to.
you just got like a mummy just being like, ooh.
is really great, though.
Look, Ma, I'm a helium balloon.
So we're gonna make our way back to Aquaria to pick up Kelly, but unfortunately when you get there the first time, Kelly is tired from her long journey through the Focus Tower and she's asleep. So instead of going to wake her up, we're gonna go talk to Phoebe's grandpa Spencer, which leads to one of Bowie's favorite scenes in the game.
I just love it. I don't know. It's just very characterful. It's quite cute.
I like that scene too.
But look at this unnecessarily long corridor to walk down. It's just like, you want a bridge? We'll give you a bridge. You want some stairs? We got some stairs. You have to go back. You have to go back left again now, just so you can go down and go right again. I know. Level design. Look at that.
And if you play this game casually, the amount of times you actually go down this waterfall.
My word, yeah. So yeah, we meet Spencer and Tristan's all, oh my god, he's cool. I'm gonna go hang out with that old man, and leaves you in the lurch. Thanks very much, missed him. But before he goes, he's like, oh yeah, that item I stole from you, you can have it back. It's the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is a very, very cool weapon. Lots of status ailments can be inflicted using it. And also gives you magic +5. Netara just finished the ice golem though, so she's managed to make her way through there.
She had a pretty nice fight too.
Pardon?
She had a pretty nice fight too.
Good. So it always feels good getting a nice fight from Ice Golem. But yeah, Phoebe blows up Spencer's place and just like pegs it out. Let's get out of here. And you exit and go straight back into Aquaria because obviously it's quicker. You try to jump over the old lady. She moves it in the way. That is part of the routing. And then speak to the Lady Kaylee, who joins us once again with an even bigger axe this time. Like, we're going to a bigger tree. I'm gonna need a bigger axe.
Oh man! But she also comes equipped with a much more awesome spell than she had the first time, which is the arrow spell. And we're actually gonna probably see Boarum go pick it up now. It'll be interesting to see if he goes in first or if he's gonna exit out of the tower first. Yep, he's gonna exit out of the tower first. That way, when he comes out of the little area that is technically part of Doom Castle, he can just use the exit spell to get back outside into the Windia area. It is a little bit faster than going all the way down and all the way back up.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So, the reason he walks out to that side of Focus Tower is because exit will basically take you outside to exactly where you came in. So you need to do that, otherwise you're going to end up back on the Aquaria side, and that's just slow. It's just super slow. So we've missed. We've got a miss again, which actually does complicate this fight a little bit because, okay, the ninja's gone.
Yeah, that's the big thing you have to get rid of is the ninja. The other ones are not so bad.
Kaylee's fast enough to get through it, which is nice.
Well, thanks to the Minotaur being kind of a beginning game boss with a slow speed, it makes the other ones slower.
Boom. And grabbing the arrow and the exit out. As Netara begins her conquest of the exit battlefield. 9 to go. Here we go. Have you been counting the sphinxes?
I didn't see any yet.
Same here. So we're on 0. We're on 0. So yeah, we went to go over to the big tree. The big tree was all like, no, I need my spirit animal. Who's your spirit animal? Kaylee. Okay, we had to go and pick up the tree's spirit animal. And now that we have said spirit animal, we can go back to the tree and check it out.
That's 2 sphinxes.
2 sphinxes, nice.
Hopefully no more sphinxes.
Awfulness. Strong again. Exit. Okay, cool. We got away with it. Or I'm having almost a tricky one because of the petrify. But okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, the resistance glitch that we use does not give us protection against petrify, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's it becomes a bit more of a glaring issue as we go later into the game, where like every 4 out of 5 enemies have petrify. It's a reliable spell for them, you know. They have their tactics on lock. That's what I'm saying. They are prepared. They got their own straps to speed run us.
As you get to, wow, that's 6 freaking Sphinxes. Good God, game. But there is a shield that Ben can pick up, that you can pick up for Ben in the very last dungeon in Doom Castle, which will prevent petrify and paralysis, at least for him. But this tree is the longest freaking dungeon of this run, and it sucks.
It's pretty bad. Everything about it is pretty bad.
It's just, it's lengthy, and there are a million monsters in the way, and you gotta chop down toadstools, and then Gidra sucks. Sphinxes, please! That's like 7 Sphinxes! You're supposed to be nice to Netara.
We had a word, Sphinx.
God!
Okay, so you'll see, because Kaylee is pretty dang fast, and these broken bits of tree aren't, you know, you get the odd strike first here, which is quite nice. Big old snipe there on Boarum, though, but Kaylee's strong enough to fend off the incoming horde. Something I haven't actually mentioned. First of all, Benjamin's the only one who gets experience as a hill, and second of all, he still gets it when he's died, because that's just the way the game works. Like, it wants you to always feel like you're always getting better and stronger, despite the errors that you make. So it does give you the experience if Ben's dead anyway. So don't have to worry about keeping him alive the whole time, which is just, you know, cutting out the fluff, really. The fluff being Benjamin's ability to do anything in this game.
Yeah, Tara's forgetting she has the exit spell.
We all
See,
do it.
It happens, it happens.
We all do it, like, you know. We must remember as well that a lot of people actually pick this game up for the tournament, you know, so the run will be new to them. There are many experienced runners who I've seen do it, so, you know, it just happens. It will happen to you if you pick it up. Yes, you, I'm talking to you. If you pick up this game for the first time, at some point in your career, you will forget you have the exit spell. And it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, going just back for a second to the tree area to at this point, because we've skipped the entire 3 dungeons that make up the Fireberg area, Ben is severely underleveled for this part of the game, and if you see him look like he's dying a lot, it's because he is, and he's gonna keep doing it for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's just kind of his whole. That's just his shtick, you know. That's just what he's doing. I was thinking, Kaylee, my dear, that at this point, you do the fighting, and I'll just die. I think that's a great idea, because it will get them overconfident, and then you can go in and slaughter them. If you're like, you know what, I'm completely up for that. Tactics.
A lot of double leech formations, which is actually not too bad, but he does want to hopefully be at least level 15 by the time he gets to Gidra. It's preferable to be 16. It does give you the extra, it does give you a little extra HP, but you do have to be 16 by the time you get into the next area for the extra spell charge.
Yes, it is important to have that spell charge. Being able to go through more fights without having to menu every single time, the time just adds up having to menu each time it happens.
Right, so even though we have, 255 seeds that are disposal after the glitch, it still takes time to go into the menu and use them all the time.
Yeah. Swings and roundabouts, eh? Okay, so Netara making her way over to this alive forest for the first time.
Yep, that means she's gonna lose her sandwich too.
Oh no, not the Reuben sandwich. What's in a Reuben?
It is corned beef and sauerkraut, and I think some places also put cheese on it. I forget which kind, but it is delicious.
See, with the ingredients chosen, I wouldn't have gone with delicious, but to each their own.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it.
I'll agree to disagree.
Well, I mean, you can't just pick it up from get an Arby's Reuben sandwich because that'd be disgusting. But if you get it from a real Jewish delicatessen where they know how to make it.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know. I'm just British, you know. It is a disadvantage in life. Not much I can do about it.
Oh, Swiss cheese. Thank you, chat. I knew there was some cheese involved. I just couldn't remember what it was. I don't use a Thousand Island dressing. Sorry, chat. But we're in the part of the long slugs of this tree. The slug in the log.
Literally, on both screens, you're gonna see a lot of the usual stuff. We're gonna have a strong character who's gonna be trying to take out the enemy as best they can, whilst following up with either an exit on the opponent or not. Now, this is the only one that actually is different. So we're not going to use any magic because this is the first instance of an enemy that actually has magic reflect in the speedrun. So if you use magic on everyone, he'll be like, nah, bro, and he'll reflect it back at you. But what you can do is attack him with a Dragon Claw because they are weak to the Doom proc, which one-shots them. Doesn't always land, but if you do get it, huzzah and good times.
Would you like to make that sound effect again? That was a very interesting sound effect.
What the nah, bro? And then, yeah, reflect your magic back. Oh, I see you have flair. It would be a shame if I reflected. But he did.
And unlike a lot of the other games where they use reflect on you, it doesn't just reflect it for a portion of the damage, it reflects it for full damage.
Yeah, that's always a fun bit, isn't it? It's like, you can sit there and deal damage in the thousands. If that gets reflected, you're like, I immediately regret my decision.
Yeah, there's also 2 bosses that can reflect your spells for part of the time as well, and we'll be getting to one of them soon.
The best boss in the game, eh? Not TM. Don't know.
This is really the game that teaches you that all birds are jerks.
Yeah, this is if you haven't seen the Terra Enigma speedrun, or if you haven't seen a Seiken Densetsu 3 speedrun, or a Secret of Mana speedrun, or I don't know, insert any RPG
didn't it?
speedrun. That is a death for Boarum, who unfortunately had 2 frogs get the better of him. The petrify into Benjamin perish is enough to do it. Get rid of time, do that.
Mystic Quest came out before Secret of Mana 2 and 3, didn't it?
Secret of Mana 3?
Seiken Densetsu 3.
Sorry, I've always liked that one because yeah, Secret of Mana. Secret of Mana was in '94. SP3 was '96, I think.
After Mystic Quest did.
When did Mystic Quest come out?
92.
Bless it, such a wee babby.
It is. But about that, all those games definitely have their fair share of jerk birds as well.
Everything does. If it flies, it's usually worse in action RPGs. I'll say that. If it flies, the action RPGs are the ones where it's really gonna suck. Not saying that it won't suck in the turn-based, because you're about to see the epitome of suckage very shortly. Don't use arrow. I think that was definitely a misinput, I feel.
Yeah, it probably was just mashing and wasn't thinking. It happens.
Let's defend our boy Benjamin. So defend's a cool thing. You can defend either yourself or your teammate. And so if you defend your teammate, they will take all the damage for them, which is lovely. But it does double up. If it is like a spell used on all, it does double up. So be careful.
So Boarum is about to enter the second to last slog in the log.
That's a sentence you just said, isn't it? Crikey. Cover your ears, kids. I like.
Do you disagree with my choice of words?
I have a lot of respect for assonance. I do. I do like assonance.
But yeah, so he's got to get through this area with the mushrooms, and then once he comes out the top door over there, he's got to go all the way around the back to get to the final area where Ghidra is. It's just like it's one thing after another in this tree. This tree is terrible.
Yeah. Did you ever have dreams? You know, hopes and dreams. Did you ever have those?
I used to, and then I started to speedrun this game.
Yeah. Everything died when you got to the tree. That's the thing. I really like baking. I can one day open a bakery and become the best baker in the land. The great tree. And suddenly it all just comes in. It just all becomes real. You know.
Nice little interesting thing there in that last battle with the oozes. Thanks to the resistance glitch, with the one exception of the ice golem's water draining, healing himself attack. Anytime a monster uses drain on your party member, your partner, it does actually do damage to them and heals your partner, which is really nice.
I was watching over on Netara's screen, forgetting again that she did have the exit, being able to quickly get out of Aquaria. So again, you can see the difference in the kind of the time there, and why you want to kind of always keep your head in the game on that one, and remember that you do have this very potent spell for exiting areas. It's so easy to forget, as we say. You just even when you know something's faster, sometimes you feel like, what, you know. I was literally doing some practice on another game earlier where you have this retreat kind of thing that you can do. And then I was just like, well, what happens if I try walking? Because it isn't too far, but it's just like it's just that little bit extra walking that is going to add up. So
yeah, I think there's only one thing. I think there's only one place where exiting is not actually faster, and I think that's when you leave the ship for the last time to go into Doom Castle.
Pretty much.
But Netara is going to pick up her arrow spell here. As you can see, very useful as she goes through the tree area.
So, Boarum onto the second to last screen of the Gurt Trur. But it's one of those ones where you can see the door when you leave. When you come out into the room, you're like, there's the door. And it's all, oh, it's so close. But it's about 7 fights of this. Now, I know what you're thinking. Are we being a little bit too harsh? This doesn't sound good being all negative. It's coming from a loving place, all right? It's coming from a loving place. I like to think of Mystic Quest speedruns as not just a test of you know, patience and a test of execution on the menus, but it's really it's like, how much can you take? It really does kind of like how much dedication you have to do it and see it through, because it is quite a the pacing of the game's quite interesting. Like, you don't have that big of a walk speed, and fights can be grossly random at times, all the time, and there's just some things that just kind of really make it weird. But there's this addicting feeling you get when playing this game. It's not addictive, but it's just kind of that thing of, despite the fact that the game has such control over you, there is still this sense of progression and a sense of achievement when things go well, and it comes from that dedication of continually playing it and really working at the game. You know, you can get better at this game despite the fact that so much of it is against your favor, which I think is quite a nice little thing about this game, really.
Yeah, I have to say, every time I get a PB in this game, I'm just giddy. I don't know any other way to say it. I'm just giddy.
Would you say that if that was a 1 second PB?
Maybe not a 1 second PB, but most of my PBs have been 3 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
fair.
it probably won't be from this point on, but at least I had some moments of glory. Boarum is going to go into the Gidra fight. So Gidra is mostly because he can use quite a number of status effect spells on you. And the Scolders to his sides can also use some status effects on you as well. It looks like he did not, which is good. But he can petrify you, he can paralyze Ben, and Ben takes anywhere from 1 turn to 1,000,000 to come out of the paralysis.
the latter being the much more accurate estimation.
It really, once he's paralyzed, it seems, unless you go out of your way to heal him, it seems most of the time like he never comes out of it.
Yeah, it's quite silly. But hey, such is life.
So, another interesting thing about the auto, Bowie mentioned earlier that if Ben gets taken out mid-turn, your partner can heal them and you can still, use whatever attack you were going to use. But the other interesting thing about the AI with the cure spell is that as soon as you or your partner fall below half HP, they will automatically use the cure spell. So if you're both below half HP, you can just set your partner to auto and they'll do the curing for you, and it is a little bit faster. Yeah.
The cure is the hard one to notice. To be honest, it's actually genuinely why I use scale, because scale's a visual thing for me, and I can just count. I can easily keep track of the dots on the bottom, so I know how much HP I've got. If I see that both of us have half of our dots, I'll just put it onto auto and let heal work. I don't know why, but.
I guess I'm more of a math-oriented person, so I'm used to looking at the numbers, and that's what I'm more comfortable with. But we've got Goon Kids!
We've got Goon Kid! Let's get those Goon Kids in chat, guys. Goon! It's not Go On Kid. What are you talking about? It's Goon Kid! To be fair, it must be said, it's very sneaky. There are 2 tiles between the O's, so actually it is Go On. But where it should be, if it was Goon, it'd be one tile between the trees. But we don't like that. We like the Goon Kid.
Goon Kid is so much better. It's so much catchier.
Goon Kid! He is the Goon Kid.
Yeah, he is. Before we make our way out of the tree, though, we are going to get the Meteor spell because it is going to wreck every monster in the next area, which is really nice. And we do it after we beat Gidra, because once Gidra is gone, the monsters in the tree also kind of vanish with them. And this area here, where he is right now, chopping down mushrooms, there is about 5 different Battletoads. Oh wow, brains.
5 different Battletoads. We got Pimple or whatever his name is. Well, what are their names?
Well, whatever they are, there's like 5 of them as you go around that turn.
And then we exit. But yeah, as RPGC alluded to, the amount of face wreckage that happens thanks to throwing meteors at your opponents is somewhat special. We buy the Cupid's Locket, which gives us resistance to silence and confusion. The confusion being quite a good bit of safety.
Yeah, and blind too.
You don't really see too much. There's not really much silence from this point on. It happens all in the ice pyramid, pretty much, with the Lamias.
Yeah, it also gives you blind resistance too, which is not so important in Mount Gale, but in Pazuzu's Tower with the Beholders, it becomes really important.
Well, I would argue slightly with that one, because with Beholders you tend to use bombs and bombs don't miss.
But it takes extra menuing to heal him.
It would be more time menuing, I grant you. But that's just me. I don't know.
Well, either way, you're picking it up regardless, so...
Yeah. So, moot point from me, carry on.
Look, at least with the Beholders, because of the way usually the battle goes anyhow, Kaylee ends up healing her own blindness on the last turn if she gets blinded, so it really does save a lot of time in the long run if you don't also have to make a separate menuing for Ben to be unblinded.
Yeah. What is important here as well is that when we are restoring status by blind or whatever, at this point we're going to be doing it using the heal potions and not anything else. This is for a very particular reason, where we want to actually now clear the 4th slot in our inventory. For you know that whole thing where you can buy 0 items and then use them? We're going to do that again, and we need to do that sooner rather than later.
Right, and the nice thing is if your partner is on auto, they will automatically use your potions before they use their healing magic. So...
Which is like the most wonderful bit of serendipity ever, isn't it, really?
It is. It's very nice. It makes things very convenient. You don't have to go out of your way to go into the menu and spam them, even though there's only 3 of them.
Mm.
But it is important to note, the claw is very essential in this part in Mount Gale. The vampires in particular, I actually noticed if you don't have the claw equipped with that extra magic boost, you cannot actually kill the vampires with the meteor attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that the hard way the other day.
It is kind of, yeah, knowing exactly when it's necessary is the most important thing, really. Because like, you can just like have it on the entire time, but you'll be missing out on maybe speed boosts you want to have the sword equipped. So yeah, just being aware of when exactly you can and should use that is really helpful.
For when you really need the speed advantage, if you need to run away from a fight, or if you need to try to go as soon as you can in the battle.
In terms of actual buffs, it's not actually written anywhere. I was checking the manuals and some online guides to kind of like see, because I know as much as the magic +5 and the speed +5 for the sword and claw. I don't actually know exactly what the Excalibur's bonus is, or even what the charm claw is, because the dragon claw is actually the 3rd claw in the game. We don't get the charm claw because it's in the fire section. And I don't actually know what the 2nd or 3rd level axe give you. Probably strength, I assume.
The only thing I know is that in the bottom of the equipment menu, it will show you the different status resistances, at least, that you have for each set of armor. But in terms of the weapons, yeah, Bowie is right. I've never seen them mention anything in terms of how much it buffs you.
You know, actual like statistical upgrades, things like, you know, the sword giving +5 speed is not in it. But again, you can see that the dragon claw has all of its status ailments that it can inflict. So there is that. There is that. And just like the resistances you have, it does tell you what you've got in terms of afflicting on your opponents.
Right.
Which is nice.
So on Boarum's side of things, we're going to see how nice Dullahan plays along. Dullahan has Doom Dance, which he already tried once on Ben. Thank goodness it failed. But Doom Dance is trolly as hell.
Yeah, if you see a yellow tornado, cry, because that's probably going to be the end of if it's on Kaylee specifically or on your partner, it's the worst. Doom Dance obviously can one-shot from wherever. Now remember, we don't have life because we didn't go to the fire area. So if our partner dies, and it's not the final turn of the fight, it's probably GG, and you have to reset the fight from the word go, which is not very good, obviously. So if anyone's going to be Doom Dance, you really want to hope that it is your boy Ben. But so far, going quite cleanly. Boarum is going for... Oh, hello, there it is. Oh, it missed. Okay, nice.
You're behind again.
Yeah, am I behind again?
Yes.
I was on the wrong... Oh, sorry. Never mind, still hands down. Why did that keep happening? My internet really is having a moment. Just refresh again. Okay. Okay, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
So now we're gonna make our way into Pazuzu's Tower. So Pazuzu's Tower is with great music. until you speak to Pazuzu the first time, Pazuzu is on every floor. You have to speak to him to get him to move to a different floor at first. And usually because the third floor is wide open, that's where we choose to speak to him, just because, hey, he's right there. You don't have to fight any additional battles to get to him. And then where he goes from there is random and partially dependent on your cart and a couple of percentage values. So in speaking to him on floor 3, he cannot stay on floor 3. He also cannot go up to the roof. So he can be on floor 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6. And each one has a different amount of time required for it. Floor 6 being the best, floor 2 being the worst.
Yeah, the difference between floor 6 and 2 is about 12 minutes, which is just an astronomically large amount of time. It just is. I mean, 12 minutes is a long time to spend in a dungeon extra just because of RNG. As you say, as RPGC said, there is some values that kind of determine where he goes, but it's kind of hard to manipulate or be able to control. No one's been able to figure it out yet. If anyone has an idea and comes up with an idea, save us, because it would make this run a lot more viable. But it would kind of take out the biggest source of RNG, which is also the biggest source of fun, I guess.
Yeah, sure. I love when Pazuzu's on floor 2.
Hey, come on! If you're having a big old fun race with your buddy old pal, right?
The guide actually says, guys. Vegas's guide actually says, if Pazuzu is on floor 2, cry and curse. You are totally allowed to.
Yeah, it's completely fair. It's completely fair.
As Bowie tries to manipulate me onto floor 2 here.
Yeah, so in order to kind of, when you speak to him on a floor, if you were to speak to him again on another floor, he would also just piss off elsewhere, and it's just like, where are you going, buddy? Come back. So we'll be hitting switches afterwards. So first of all, no minute straps. Oh, come on, the double sword strike. Surely jump over the little loop. Come up with some straps, bro. So now he's picked his location. We won't start knowing where he is. So basically, you start on floor 1, you go 3, 5, 7, and down to 6, 4, 2. That's how it works. You go up one side and you come down the other. So we don't know where he is. The first place we're going to check, because we want to go all the way up to the top, is floor 6. If he's on floor 6, there's a little lever that is just before him. If you hit that with the axe, it will basically lock the elevator that he's standing on in place, so he can't escape. So if he's on floor 6. You hit the switch, you go up and check. If he's there, you can talk to him and you can fight him. If he's not, you hit the switch, you go up, he's not there, you have to then make your way back down. So if he's on floor 5, you have to go down to floor 4 to then hit the switch back there and go back up to floor 5. So it's not as simple as just moving down to floor 5 and speaking to him again. It's not just speak to him twice. You need to lock him in position first and then you can speak to him.
Right, and you can only lock him in on the odd number of floors.
Indeed. So if he's on something like floor 4, you need to move him up to floor 5 and then lock him off.
Right.
If he's on floor 2, he will move up to floor 3, and you have to lock him off on floor 3. Which is, just unnecessarily annoying. But what it then does come down to, like when I say 12 minutes roughly, how long it is, I really do hope that you can cut that down purely by executing menus and just kind of doing the fights really well. It cannot be underestimated how important it is to execute your menus, to know where all your spells are, because normally the magic sub menu is actually on memory, so knowing what the last spell you used was and where you need to go to get to the next one. So if you're on arrow and you want to go down to, I don't know, thunder, down right, so it just completely clicks into place. Knowing your menus that way is a really underestimated skill. So do take your time to learn that if you are picking up that game or haven't yet really spent enough time on it. It is definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing I still have to work on, although I'm getting better, so.
It's hard. Like, it's one of those things that I sit there and say do it. I'm not saying I'm not any good at it myself. It is something to consider and definitely be aware of.
Looks like Netara is almost at the last portion of the last stage before Gidra here. She's got one more long, winding road to go through, and then she'll be on her Gidra fight.
Yeah.
But Boarum's got a lot of tower to go.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and you can see a bit of you know, there is the gulf slowly appearing between the two. But if we do have a floor 2 and a floor 6 for Boarum and Netara respectively, that will shift. That will shift because as soon as Boarum finds out that Pazuzu's not on floor 6, that's potentially all the time being every second that ticks away trying to find him from that point on is just additional time that is being saved for the other player.
Yeah.
Given a better floor.
Yeah, also we have Boarum in the Hellway. So the Hellway is comprised of 3 different Manticore fights, and you pretty much always get a triple Manticore setup. There almost is never a double Manticore setup in this one. And the Manticores are pretty deadly. They have a lot of different spells at their disposal, including a fire spell. And neither of our characters have any fire resistance. So the fire spell tends to do a lot of damage to both Ben and Kaylee. But luckily, just like with the Sphinx, you can life them and you can exit them, and you want to get rid of them as fast as possible.
Hmm.
And of course, status effects like that Petrify over there. Learning this run, I was warned, make sure you heal up at least your HP in between Manticore fights.
Yeah, yeah, they're just the worst fights because they can get so aggressive, and they also, I mean, as well as having like really strong attacks, they also have Petrify, which means that you have to take that risk of, do I go for the heal? So do I go for the offense here? And I mean, we could also, I mean, you just noticed there as well, the Manticores are also faster than Kaylee as well. She can outturn them, but they can outturn her too. And if you just get unlucky with that and you want to go for the you know, the finish, you can find yourself, you know, being blindsided and taken out, which is really, really annoying, honestly.
Agreed. Fully agreed. But Boarum's on the roof now. He's going to make his way over to the right side of the roof so he can start to make his way down to the 6th floor. From our chat, Bowie, of what occurs if Pazuzu is and is not on the 6th floor.
Pardon, sorry?
Chat of what they should do if Pazuzu is and is not on the 6th floor.
Apologies, I'm shirking my responsibilities as a commentator. Should we be so lucky as to find Pazuzu gently resting upon the wall on floor 6, we are going to PogChamp like we've never PogChamped before. Imagine, you know, you're watching Power Rangers on Twitch again, and you know they're doing the flips and they're beating the putties up. We want that level of PogChamp. The Megazord's just been called level of PogChamp. You know, Tyrannosaurus, bang! There it is.
That's quite an awesome level of PogChamp.
That is an impressive level of PogChamp. That's how much PogChamp we need. However, if we press the button on floor 6, we move up and there's just our gaping maw left. There's no Pazuzu. Just a hole. A sink of feelings, hopes, dreams, positivity, love and care in the world, all gone. We are going to baby rage. We're going to baby rage.
That was by far the most eloquent speech I have heard about Pazuzu not being on floor 6.
Seen some things. Seen some things in my time.
All the hope gets sucked out of your life, apparently, if Pazuzu is not on floor 6. Oh my goodness. So, in answer to your question, they're able to use so much magic because we underflowed the seeds a little bit earlier in the run. So they basically had, at the start, 255 seeds at their disposal, so they can kind of run through them without too much worry about running out of them.
Yeah. It's just magic for days. It's really, really handy.
Oh no, we got Petrify on Netara's side. It is really a pain in the butt when he does that!
Thorough Quake is enough! See, level 15 fighting Ghidra. We did mention earlier to be level 16. With one extra level, Netara would have survived that. That's a very unfortunate happening. She must have had some really, really fortunate for speed fights, but very unfortunate for experience.
Yeah, the battle's not impossible on level 15, but it is a lot harder.
My stream just adjusted. I'm just going to refresh again. Just saw it jut.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is. Okay. Benjamin, Boarum has encountered the Dullahan on the bottom right of floor 7, correct? Or the Thanatos.
I'm sorry, I missed part of what you said.
He's just engaged the Thanatos on the bottom right side of floor 7, correct?
Those formations with the Thanatos and the Manticore and the Beholder are some of the worst formations that you can get, because again, the Beholder will reflect your spells. Oh, double stone on Netara's side. Good God, Gidra, play nice. But I'm sidetracked by my own commentary.
That's fine. That's fine.
But then you have the Manticores, which annoy the heck out of you, and the Thanatos can use the Cure spell, which makes things very annoying sometimes.
I would love it if he was like, you know, allergic to healing, like some bosses are. And it's just like, I'm in danger, heal myself, and just, you know, puts himself down.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that not every monster is miscoded.
If only they were as balked as our partner characters, right?
Yeah, but Boarum is going to be picking up his kick butt flare spell in just a moment here, and the strats completely change for the most part when you have the flare spell in hand. So if there's only 2 enemies, then the strat becomes flare and defend. If there is 3 enemies, then it becomes single arrow and flare. Unless there is a beholder, because it reflects, then you have to revert back to pre-flare strats, unfortunately.
Yeah, there is no get around for that. Just have to do what you gotta do. So one of the heads is down for Netara in her Ghidra fight, still having a little bit of an issue. But still managing to survive. See, there are also times, by the way, where your AI partner will not cure themselves as well, and if you want to, you can do a manual cure all, which just prevents your partner character from having to cure again in a nearby turn. Which is oh, there is no floor 6, so we baby rage!
Baby rage!
Baby rage! Pazuzu, why have you forsaken us? We are lonely soldiers.
All the baby rages, guys. All the baby rages. So now it's going to be a matter of...
There we go. That's a bit better.
Now it's going to be a matter of going down floor by floor and seeing where Pazuzu did end up.
Goon Kid.
Goon Kid, exactly. On Netara's side, she is through the Ghidra fight. She's going to make her way over to Windia. So, let's see. Nope, not on floor 5.
Nope. So, in the order of quality of floor is 61542. Floor 1 being quite simple because you can basically make your way to the switch. You move all the way down to floor 2 and you'll see if he's there on floor 2. If he's not on floor 2, he's going to be on floor 1. So all you have to do is hit the switch, exit out and go and fight him. If he's on floor 5, you have to obviously kind of go down to floor 4, lock him in by going through a few fights. You wouldn't have to do the fights if you saw that he wasn't floor 5. You have to go on to floor 4, do some fights to lock him on floor 5, and then go all the way back up to fight him, going through a few more fights. It does actually add up the amount of fights you have to do. If you're going past floor 5, you find out he's not there, go down to floor 4, see he's not there. You don't have to do as many fights to get past down to floor 2 to see that he's not there to get out. So I hope that explanation is clear. but there are more enemies on the way to have to lock him into floor 5 than there is just to go and check that he's on floor 1.
Right.
See, that is quite quick. Then so it's 6-5, and then 4 is obviously if he's on 4, you have to go. You would have locked 5 by this point. Or you would lock 4 when he's on there. You have to go down to 2 as well. So, or
floor 4 here. So
he is on floor 4, yeah.
Yes. So Boarum is going to have to hit the switch. He's going to have to kill an extra 2 enemies over floor 5 encounter and send Pazuzu up to floor 5. Unfortunately, have to go all the way back up to the roof, come back around to floor 5, and then make his way up to Pazuzu. So, granted, the monsters are already dead up on the roof and coming back down, but it's a long way around, much longer than it is to just, again, as Bowie said, just go down and check and see if he's on floor 1. But still not as bad as it could be, because, things can always be floor 2.
Yeah, I mean, and the difference between 4 may be the second worst. The difference again between 2 is just so much more, because you have to fight all the things through to floor 2 to lock him in. You've got to fight you've got to fight your way to him on floor 2 just to move him up to floor 3. You've got to fight your way to the switch first of all, and then fight your way to him on floor 2. Which is just nuts. You have to fight so much just to get down there in the first place. It's quite something.
Yeah, not only that, but at this point, we actually do have to watch out for Ben's level. And we basically want Ben to be somewhere between 20 and 22 as we go into the Dark King fight at the end of the game, because it has a specific set of strats for beating the Dark King, and as soon as you get past level 22, the set of strats change for how to do the quick kill on the Dark King. So it makes it very specific.
Yeah, we'll go into that a little bit more detail as we come up to it. But for those of you who've seen it, you know what's going to happen. For those of you who haven't, I hope you like big damage, big prizes. Okay, so there's floor 4, sending him up to floor 5, and obviously we've locked the floor 4 elevator. So up to 5, up to 6, up to 7, down to 6, down to 5. It's a long way. So, how's your day going? As we walk all the way around.
Yep, all the way around.
We see that as well. The claw-equipped on Netara's side, making our way through Mount Gale, using those meteors just to, I don't know, just destroy a bunch of vampires. I believe yet might have to make our way down here. It did go up, so. Netara is a newer runner to the game. This is her first race in the tournament, so a few of those kind of slight kinks in the overall routing will show with a bit more experience. Those will slowly get ironed out.
But yeah, considering this is only her 3rd full run, it's really not bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You can count the amount of kind of routing decisions, like actual directions, in terms of errors on one hand, which is very, very good. And the most important thing about this tournament as well, I think, is kind of good about all these kinds of things, is bringing newer runners to a game, and injecting some life into into a speed game. For all of the things that we poke fun at it for, it is still a very enjoyable game to play and run. It may be infuriating at times, but it still has something there. So.
I think infuriating is an understatement sometimes in this run, but it's a labor of love for some of us.
Trying to get new runners in.
I was just saying, it's a labor of love. I still enjoy playing it, even though Zuh kills me 5 times in a row, okay?
Fine. So the Dollar Hand fight. I will be interested to see if we see the difference in... here we go. I think Boarum is ready to engage his bird. Face your doom! So there is just quickly before Pazuzu starts, you can actually heal Dullahan, and that will basically do one of a variety of status ailments to him, and one of them can be paralyzed, which is very important. Now, Pazuzu is doing a lot of damage. He sucks. There you go. Pazuzu fight in one sentence.
Yeah, pretty much. He's also got it. Sorry.
Okay.
Has a very large amount of HP. Like ridiculous.
There is a lot of that as well, yeah, for sure.
But Pazuzu does have a bit of an interesting gimmick here. He does have this Psych Shield ability. So with the Psych Shield ability that Pazuzu has, it stays up for one full turn. He puts it up at the end of one turn. He takes it down after a full turn. And if you use any magic on him, it is basically the same as hitting a monster that has an automatic reflex spell on it. And the problem is that when you're getting into the turn where Pazuzu takes his Psych Shield down, Kaylee can often outpace Pazuzu. So it is very risky to have her use her arrow spell in that turn, and you're usually safer using the axe just to make sure he doesn't reflect the arrow back at her.
It's a good time to use a seed, and because obviously I don't really want to spoil it for those who don't know, but there are some basically we'll be fighting enemies like these again soonish. It's important to know that Kay doesn't have anything that he's weak against, so the axe obviously is the best option. That option is actually made a lot more viable in the refight because we have something that he's weak against. So it's just it's nice to kind of get into the mindset of that being an okay option, that you can still be aggressive in that particular moment. Despite the fact that it is a very scary position to be in. And also, as I say, it's a good time to use a seed just because it means you're not having to, as you're seeing here, miss opportunities to get him. Even if you have three stacks left, just use the seed so you don't miss any opportunity to use flare when you can.
Right, not only that, but Ben has 4 flare charges at this point, and Pazuzu will put up his Psych Shield every 4 turns. So there is the possibility that you can get off a flare every single turn, and you want to have a full charge for when his Psych Shield comes down.
And that's a kill, which is, I believe, first time. Didn't get any deaths there. So he'll ride, Montague, ride to the top of the Pazuzu's tower, get himself a cheeky wind crystal, and look at that nice green. It's a lovely green, that.
And Netara is making her way into Pazuzu's tower now, so we'll have to see what floor she gets.
So because of the item glitch we did earlier, we don't actually need to pick up the wind crystals here, and this will be the next time that obviously we've used the heal potions to have that empty space. Now again, we're going to buy 0 items, and this time we're going to buy 0 cure potions. We're not going to use them just yet. What we're going to do is we're going to go and speak to Dr. I want to say Otto here. I think that's right. And he says, I can now activate the Rainbow Bridge, but I need something. And Ruben's going to come over and be, I can help. Whoa, Ruben, where did you come from? You're a bit of a soggy sandwich now, dude.
Now you're catching on.
There we go. Kaylee's going to go hang out with Norma and make sure she's okay. Ruben will join you for a little bit. Now, in order for him to bring the bridge open, he needs to get the Thunder Rock. By using the 0 item there, and again, underflowing your inventory, it actually gives you the Thunder Rock. I don't know, but there you go. You get the Thunder Rock, you can continue, you don't have to go on a big hunt for it. I keep forgetting where it is. It's in did you say it's in Aquaria?
No, basically, if you want the Fire Rock, you have to go all the way back to Fireburg to get it.
Oh, it's in Fireburg, yes.
It's Ruben's dad that has it.
Don't you need to go get the Omega Crest as well?
In that, cave where Boarum just was is where you would get the Mobius crests. So you wouldn't even have an easy access way to get back to Firebird. You would have to go through the focus tower and go back the slow way.
Great. Now, before we go into Captain Mac's ship, we need to go and get his cap, because obviously, in order to enter I wouldn't say a pirate. If you want to enter a ship, you need to have a hat. These are the most important things. You have a bit of an interesting story regarding Captain Mac's cap. Try saying that 3 times fast.
I do. So, at playing this game as a kid, my friend and I came up with this theory that the only reason that this game happens at all is because Mac forgot his captain's cap. And it actually comes into play a couple of times throughout the storyline, and it's even mentioned later in the game as well. So it's kind of like a big thing like, hey, don't forget your hat again, because bad things are going to happen. So I'm convinced that if Mac had not forgotten his hat, this game never would have happened, and I would have never made poor life choices, and neither would any of these runners. But in all honesty,
remember, guys, please run this game. Please
running this game, though, it's so much fun. Plus, the music is so awesome. How can you not enjoy the music while you're playing this game?
Yeah, that's a good point. If you don't enjoy the music, I will come and find you.
That is a strange threat, Bowie.
We'll go for tea. Ruben's back, and he's still kind of terrible. So you would obviously have had Ruben in our party before had we done Firebird. He's got a big old morning star, and now he's got the white magic, which is basically holy. It's pretty cool. You know?
It is very nice. At least it makes him somewhat useful.
It does actually. There's loads of enemies in this area that actually deals, and he deals enough damage with white to actually just kill. So it's nice. And if he can't, you've got your cheeky old flare ready to go.
Right,
Yeah.
so that formation that you saw before is the same formation that we were getting on the top of Pazuzu's tower, and on the boat, that is not the formation you want to see. You want to see that double Thanatos, which is why Boarum ran away and then went back into the battle. Eventually, though, if you keep seeing the same formations appear over and over again, it becomes a moot issue to try to run away to save time, and you might as well just deal with what you got.
And that's the thing as well, like knowing where battles have a higher tendency just to give you a bad encounter. You just have to just grin and bear it. There are some where you could run away like 6 times and still get 3 encounters. You know, you should just try it maybe once, or not even at all, and just go, you know what, I'm just going to have to cut my losses, suffer this one fighting, just get through it.
There's another enemy where life works on him and you wouldn't expect it to work on him.
Yeah, weird, isn't it? Almost there.
Yeah, this is a very short, very, very short boat, as long as you know where you're going.
He's going for the Gaia armor. Okay, so the Gaia armor has a variety of extra stats to it. I mean, it's basically, it is just a safety option, really. So it's like 3 up in defense, the evade +1. But it resists wind, thunder, and sleep, which is the extra kind of stuff that it does. So Noble Armor obviously has the water and poison, but the wind and thunder is quite helpful because there are some windy enemies as we make our way forward. But yeah.
But now that we have, now that Mac is back in town and he's safe, Ruben is still injured, so we're gonna send him to bed with no milk or cookies.
Yeah. Go to bed, mister.
And we get our bae back.
Yeah, Phoebe. So he's all, I can't really do this, mate. I'm still a bit wonky from, those breezes last week. Like, you know what, mate? It's fine. Just, go to the, the nearby inn, have a little sleeps. And then we're going to actually stay at the end because it sends us up there. And we get a full hill. We stretch a little bit, we flex. And we speak to Captain Mac and say, hey, buddy, we got your cap. And then he's like, well, if you have my cap, you're obviously a captain. Steer my ship.
And he says something about the Dark King, too, but that's irrelevant.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. Fun little fact: the wind veins in Windia are actually chocobos.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. You know, it is a little unfortunate that the cloud cover does not ever go away during the course of this speed run. Windia actually is a really nice little pretty area, but you can't see it because the smoke from the volcano does not go away unless you clear the volcano.
Mm-hmm. Actually, we're going to have an exit there. Okay, so we are into awesome music time. Please feel free to rock out if allowed. It's accepted. It is part of Mystic Quest etiquette.
It's encouraged.
Mystic Quest etiquette. I don't know, it doesn't work. To rock out, it's fine.
Yeah, that's why I said it's encouraged.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
We shave off 5 seconds from your PB for every headbang you do.
I'm wondering if Boarum is going to go pick up the Aegis Shield or if he's going to skip it, because it looks like he's going to skip it.
I would expect a skip.
Yep. So here's another one of those bosses that's not quite got the boss flag on him. So you can exit or life the Spellosaur here, which is rather nice.
10k HP, nothing for old Life-a-Rooney over here. So yeah, just life him. You can also exit him as well, actually. So you can do either one, and then kind of finish up the ninjas afterwards, which is quite simple to do.
Does life also work on the stone golem coming up, or does only exit work?
Just exit. Yeah.
Wasn't 100% sure, but I thought that was the case. Good to know. I never tried life on it. But every little area here in Doom Castle is, well, it's very similar to the areas we've already encountered. So the first floor that we already went through was similar to the Bone Dungeon. This area is going to be similar to the Ice Pyramid. The next floor is going to have a lot of lava that we've never seen before, and then the final floor is going to look like Pazuzu's Tower and be just as mazy.
Yeah. Just as unnecessarily long, despite how small the room is, yeah.
Yes, exactly. This.
Funnily enough, actually, the bone tower, or the bone dungeon section of the tower is really straightforward, and then from then on, it's just I don't know, a cavalcade of BS. I don't know. There's just so much that can happen to you.
Well, in particular, this floor is very, very confusing, because if you don't poke the statues in the correct order, you're going to encounter closed doors. So you do kind of have to know your way around here and which order to do things.
Yeah. For sure.
Shit in the chat, thank you.
What's quite nice about a few upcoming fights here is that we are going to be encountering lower level enemies. Weirdly, for some reason, there's not like a reskin of the Fanquid that we can fight, or the there is a reskin of the snow crab into like the regular crab. I can't remember what it's called, but they're actually here. But because they're such a low level and we're such a high level, we actually get a guaranteed strike first. So actually getting through the ice pyramid section is really easy, because of the amount of strike bursts we have. You don't have to worry so much. Just drop a white, drop a flare.
Yeah, so now he's going to have to make his way back around towards the beginning and then go to the other half of the ice pyramid floor. No matter what I do, I always lose time on this floor. I don't know why.
One of those ones that you feel like you've got some kind of control over, but it's actually like one of the more consistent areas in the game in terms of like just you'll usually get the same thing.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure. And like Bowie said, having that strike first is it's kind of nice.
But yeah, because it happens so often, you can't sit there and go, "Oh, I got to strike first. Time save." No, it's not going to happen, because you always get a strike first. I've yet to see not a strike first. I would wonder, actually, if, given the speed of flares animation versus throwing the sword out. Which would be able to just if you got the double crowd into shadow. How would it be with white into sword? The sword's quite a quick animation.
Oh yeah, but would it be enough to kill the ninja on the end though?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you've already dropped like 700 damage on it. I'm wondering if the sword's enough. Anyway, fire onto one of the dogs. Cerebus, or sometimes Cerberus are called Cerebus, and it really confuses me. I'm not sure if they actually have the right name or the wrong one. Get rid of that so there's no stone gaze, and then exit the stone golem.
I've never heard Cerberus called a Cerebus. I couldn't even get it out of my mouth.
Yeah, it's really weird, but sometimes Cerberus is just... I've seen Cerebus just because the B and the E are the other way around.
I mean, I guess if you're comparing it to how you would say cerebellum, but...
No. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying I've seen it. I'm not saying it's in this game. I've definitely seen it somewhere.
Oh, whatever. Let people pronounce things how they want to pronounce things. Except for one word, which I know pisses Bowie off. I will refrain from saying this word.
I'm confused as to which one it is now.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
No, I can't. I legitimately can't.
If I want to anger you. Because he will go on a 15-minute tirade if I say it the wrong way.
Is this like any word that when it's said by an American is incorrect?
It is one word which is particularly said incorrectly by Americans.
Oh no! I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. That's an issue. That's an issue, and I have to deal with it daily. Because all the games I run have it in, and it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Luckily, there's none in this game, mate.
No, there is not.
God. The thing is when I'm in Golden Sun, you get a guaranteed drop of it in the third fight in the game. Guaranteed drop. Which just every time I read it.
Alright, so we're gonna find out in just 2 battles if Netara is getting PogChamp or Baby Rage. Although I think she might be a little lost. There we go. On the door, please. Got this, baby. You got this.
Where are we going to be? This is the question. Where are we going to be? Okay, so going to have these flares dropped on the Nagas. Boom. And going for the arrow as well. Doesn't need to. Can just defend. Makes that a little bit quicker. As Boarum approaches the twin-head wyvern. If you've got the wyverns, please drop the wyverns. See, that fire attack is just brutal. It's over half of Phoebe's HP. She can be 2-shot by a boss, which is scary. The twin-head wyvern is quite a tough one. So, Flare doesn't do too much damage to the wyvern, so what you'll probably see is white and then either arrow or meteor. Meteor does a little bit more damage, but it's a longer animation. So you can just chuck it. Here we go. What have we got? We've got a PogChamp!
Oh baby!
PogChamp like you've never PogChamped before. Go! Just endless PogChamping. Because we got the floor 6.
Spam those PogChamps. She deserves that for that floor 6.
She earned that floor 6.
Oh man, we have a BB down!
Oh no! The head's gone though, so no more fire breath, but it's not gonna go too well because we haven't got any life.
Yeah.
You have to use these as well. Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought actually that, and I was mistaken apparently, that once you knocked off the first head from the wyvern, but apparently it doesn't. It just uses it less.
Yeah, use it less. It's not completely gone. One of face of one who is a champion of Pogs. Mate, did you play Pogs back in the day? Did you have Pogs? Why? I don't understand how that's humorous. I'm asking you a legitimate question about Pogs.
Pogs.
You know what a Pog is, right?
I know what a Pog is. That's why I'm laughing. They're the most ridiculous things I ever saw.
So sick. They're like weird designs. You know, like those crazy things that look like Tasmanian devils and stuff, which is weird. And then, oh mate, I had a godly Keenie. I'll say that much. My Keenie was the best in school. Everyone was afraid of my Keenie.
I guess maybe the Pogs were not as popular. But after that first unfortunate death, Boarum is through the twin head, so he's gonna be moving on to Zoo's floor. The deadly Zoo.
Zoo. Yeah, Zoo is fun. Going for... are you going to exit, mate? I mean, that's a bold move. So yeah, so far it's going okay for Netara. We've got the first show of degradation by Pazuzu. Boarum makes his way through to the next floor of the game. So you can fall down here on Zoo's floor, and you'll make your way back down to the lava area. You can kind of like clip across, as you saw there, onto the stairs from the left and right hand side, which actually allows us to skip an encounter on this floor, which is very, very nice.
It is. I really like that little bit with the stairs there. Come on, Pazuzu, play nice. I hate this encounter that Boarum has with the two chimeras.
Yeah, it's not nice. It's difficult to kind of like just take them all out, and their speed is nuts. You can see obviously he swapped to the sword there just to try and get the outturn. I believe it's possible, but yeah.
Not usually, only because Ben is so underleveled.
Okay, so picking up the... Oh no, Netara hasn't got it, sorry. The Gaia armor's on. Whoops. I was like, that's a good pickup on the Gaia armor. No, wrong person. So this is looking quite brutal. We've got a petrified Benjamin. Hopefully, he'll go for the white again and get it. No. Maybe she'll get lucky. He'll get lucky and get in there. There we go. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So managed to get an outturn and takes that thing out. So.
Yeah, I think the only formation I hate worse than the two chimeras with the Cerberus is the Thanatos, the Cerberus, and the Chimera. That one is not a fun formation to have.
Doom Dancer. Oh wow, that was brutal. A petrifying a Doom Dancer, Boarum. You shall not pass.
Yeah, those Cerberuses do have Doom, and I think the Shadows, the ninjas, do too. Okay, Hurricane is good. You want to see that.
Going for the arrow as well. Going to try and go for the KO.
Oh, baby! She's got her floor 6 Pazuzu down.
Very nice. That'll be some nice time to save on a PB. Get a couple of Thanatoses and a Cerberus.
That's not so bad, because all you have to do is get rid of the Cerberus first.
Yeah. And then hope for no Doom Dance, obviously. Double flare.
Yep. That's a real good Thanatos formation to have that double Thanatos with the Cerberus, just because it's so much easier to take them out with fire spells.
Here we go. We've got the tough one, white into Meteor. We've got a instant petrify though, so gonna hopefully get no paralysis or anything.
Right, and then hopefully
quake. Oh, confusion. Oh, that's all just gonna pile up.
Chimeras, please.
Thunder. No damage. Good. When N gets a turn off, okay. Nice and clean.
Wow. I don't know about clean, but
yeah. It was all up in the air for a while. Okay. Netara doing her glitch. There we go, she's got her items. By the way, that key there that you saw in the gas mask, that's all for the lava dome and volcano areas. You can go through like smoky areas that you can still see and breathe.
Well, yeah, luckily the only area that has that is the volcano, so it kind of ends up like the ice pyramid does. It just prohibits you from seeing the actual monsters in your path, so not the biggest of deals.
Yeah. But if you're doing a hundo run, you'd probably pick it up. Okay, just one more enemy stands in the way of Boarum and 17 resets.
Please don't wish that on him.
I'm not wishing it on him. I'm just, you know, I'm lowballing the amount of, you know, BS that's going to come out of you. So we're surprised. You know.
It's on Saturday. You remember how many deaths I had to reset?
5 or 6, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of time, especially when 2 of them when he was on his final form of degradation.
Oh my god, you have no idea how much I wanted to launch my controller across the room.
This game does not make you angry. This game is great. What a brilliant speedrun. Welcome to speedgaming.com, or no, speedgaming, twitch.tv/speedgaming,
hey.
Where we love our video games and don't throw our controllers. I don't know what.
Hey, look, if I hated this game that much, I would not keep going back to it to try to PB. Would I?
Let's raise our hands in the air for a Doom Dance on Boarum. We did enjoy it. No, he didn't, but we did. Doom Dance on PB. It lands! And that's pretty much number 1. Let's count it up.
Gonna mean a reset.
Yeah, count it up.
If Zo's gonna Doom Dance somebody, you want it to be your Benjamin, because Phoebe can life Benjamin, Benjamin cannot life Phoebe.
Yeah, it's important that, basically, as I said, in any boss fight, oh, nice opening. Oh, okay, misses. If your AI partner, your partner character dies, and it's not the final turn of the fight, it's probably dead, and reset. Sky attack, nice opener.
Yeah, luckily Zoo does have less HP than Pazuzu does, and technically it is possible to completely skip his last form. So, yeah, you just kind of have to hope and pray that you don't get Doom Danced.
Yeah, pretty much. Doom Dance has taken many PBs from many players, many times.
Sad face.
Many ways. Merry Christmas to you.
He also will do the Psych Shield more often than Pazuzu does too, though. So instead of every 4 turns, he does it every 3 turns.
Nice crit though! See, this is why we like the Birth Brace. It does a beastly amount of damage, and it crits. Which is lovely.
Yeah,
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, what a video game. Doom Dance!
Oh!
We got the double!
Oh my god! Double Doom Dance! Damn it, Zoo! That's 2!
It's just like it's going completely well. Oh my god. Before anyone says, this is just a beginner's game, this is not how you're meant to play the game. Dear, oh dear. Doom Dance. Oh, a miss. Pazuzu being nice. Oh!
Whoa, that was close.
What is the actual chance of it hitting? Is it like what 99% chance of hit? I don't know.
That's what it feels like.
Oh dear. This is good damage. He's down. He's down to his last form. We're going to see wind. I think we have to. Yeah, we have to be defensive here. Doom dance. No, okay. No doom dance. Double heal because PB's healing these jokes. Here we go. We're going to go for the flare. Going to go for the white.
PB's on auto though. Yeah, so she may not use white.
But Grace. Flare. Is that enough?
No, one more.
I've been counting. Snow. Is he going for the snowman kill?
Oh!
There we go. Very nice. This is the snowman swag kill. I like it.
Oh my god, that's crazy. The swaggiest kill of Zoo ever.
In a race as well. He's feeling confident, is Boarum.
I guess so. Oh goodness, so it is faster to fall down there and make your way back to the lava area and then make your way back up the outside corridor. But now, Boarum is going to go up to the Dark King, and luckily he is still level 22, so he can employ the normal strats. All will be good.
So, what he's going to do is this, and it may sound crazy, it may sound silly, but trust me, when I say trust me, I'm a doctor, it's going to work. We're going to cure the Dark King and defend. We're then going to cure him twice. We're then going to cure him again and defend. With either the bomb or the axe equipped. This is important. You don't want to outturn, so you don't want to have the sword, and you don't want to be too strong. So that was 23,000 damage in terms of magic of curing damage. We're then going to cure him back to 13,000. And then I'm going to cure him again with Benjamin, and it will do another 23,000, which will then do. This is over half down now. Is that all you can muster? And it turns out he's like a creepy spider dude. But then we're going to again cure with Benjamin, defend with BB, so she takes the hit, and then cure him again to finish him. And time for Boarum with a 2:11:27 on RTA. What is the official SRL time?
The official SRL time is 2:11:29, and it is a race PB by 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Congratulations to him. That is very, very well done. PB, and your winner of today's race in Group D is Boarum with a 2:11:29. You said, yeah?
Yes.
Just so I can update this bracket. Update it quickly. But GG's to Boarum for a very, very good run. Getting the floor 4 for Zuzu, and a little bit of swag on his had a little bit of a questionable moment in between, but managed to get away with it. So, but yeah, your winner, the 2:11:27, as Netara makes her way to Doom Castle, and will start her final ascent to the final boss.
Right, so we'll have to see what kind of RNG she gets from the Twin Head and from Zoo.
Of course. Group D. Netara is there. 2:29. There we go.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best feelings to get a PB during a race.
Yeah. So Netara obviously going to go and grab the Aegis shield, which we saw. Boarum did skip, obviously. A more experienced runner of the game, a little bit more confident in going through it without. But obviously the Aegis shield, being an incredibly strong defensive item, gives us a lot of resistances. It basically defends against everything. So no more petrified, no more paralyzed, which is really, really handy as we make our way through. Don't have to worry too much about the I hate to say CC, but the status ailments that the enemies can put on you. So,
Yeah, it's definitely useful. Unfortunately, it doesn't extend to your partner, but at least Ben will be protected.
Yes, indeed. And normally, because Phoebe's faster, she will get her go and then she'll get punished. And then you kind of you are normally in a position where you're wanting Benjamin to finish off. So by removing the chance of him not being able to, you can actually usually get those victories. But it does add about a minute to this run going for it. The time it saves, it does save a bit of time, obviously. But it's not. It's usually, if you get really, really good RNG, it's not worth it to go and get it, because the time save is minimized the better the RNG is.
Right.
Boom.
I love when they kill themselves for you.
Yeah, it's nice. That's a positive thing. Okay.
Through the Skullosaur fight, so now she's going to move on to the pyramid section.
Apologies. Just see if Boarum.
He's in the waiting room.
We want to get a very, very quick interview with our winner whilst Netara finishes up her run.
Boarum?
Hey, what's going on?
How's it going, sir? Congratulations on the victory.
Yes, big GG on your race PB.
Whew. Yeah, that was 3 minutes on the SRL.
Not bad. What is your overall PB as well? I forgot to check.
2 hours, 8 minutes, and like 52 seconds, something like that. So I was within 2.5 minutes.
Fair enough. Very, very close. Very close.
Definitely the destroyer of PBs, isn't he?
Oh man, I was thinking the whole time, like, if this was a floor 6 and then every boss just was clean, it would have been a huge PB for me, but you know how this game goes.
Oh, of course, of course.
Tends to do its own thing, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
But you've got a plan.
In the end, Mystic Quest always wins.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that one day when it'll gift me a sub 2, but it might take another couple months.
Takes some time, doesn't it? So, what have you been really working on? What have you been focusing on in terms of, as a runner, picking up and learning more of to be able to kind of get your time down to where it was? So obviously, if we're saying our average run, if you look at the leaderboards, our average run is about 2 hours 15. Mm. What did it really take for you to kind of push below that and really get to the point you're at now?
Well, I pretty much was doing one run a day for the past month, and I do a lot of Mystic Mondays whenever I can. Mm-hmm. And I'm a huge note taker. I usually watch like the top 3 world record videos. I read the notes with El Magus's guide, and I just constructed my own kind of version of that, and then just memorized it, and then you just grind the crap out of the game. So
fair. But what's kind of like the hardest thing you think about this game is to master, or what's kind of really been, or what is the one thing you really want to improve as you go forward?
Well, the 2 biggest things that I've worked on, because like the routing is pretty straightforward after about 3-4 runs. It's just like getting that really fast menuing speed, which in times, like, you could even see, like, there was a few times where I was like, my brain kind of locked up. I was like, wait, and I had to like slowly go through the menu. And there's just like those little things, like being able to switch your weapons at the end of combat as it's like zoning out, because you get that free like rotation on your skills, or sorry, on switching weapons. So yeah, there's like all those little things you can just shave those seconds off as you go. And just memorizing the fights. That was the first biggest thing I did, was memorize that, need to do these spells in these order against these type of mobs, so you can really cut down that time.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, good of you to bring up the menu. It's one of those, I mentioned it during the race. It's one of those things that I think is really, really important about this game. There's a lot of execution involved around the randomness that is, yours to control. Is there any kind of like area that's really like, a bit of a thorn in your side? We'll take out Pazuzu, his location, specifically. But is there anything? Clarifying. Sorry. Yeah, what's kind of the place that you're most aware is kind of like your weakest area, and the place that you really want, like actual location?
That was my first sub 40 ice golem. I usually run about 41 minutes, maybe 42. So that was the quickest I ever got through to ice golem. I think it was 39 minutes when he went down. So that one kind of was hard to get that sub 40, which is one of my goals. But probably I'd want to say on the way to Ghidra, because it's just such a long trek, and it's hard to shave off time there. It's like that's definitely the hard one.
At you, I'm laughing because I kept commenting on how damn long that tree is of a slug.
Yeah.
It's probably the longest part of the game.
That ice pyramid was exceptional, so kudos to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I shaved 2 minutes off my PB in that section, so I couldn't believe that. But I mean, the game just gave it to me. It's not, I didn't do anything really different. It just everything kind of lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the game is really nice to you in areas, and then sometimes it's just not.
Yeah, and last time I died at Ice Golem, I took a chance trying to fire him, and he just kept going first. And then this time it was just like he just gifted me that end kill.
I did like the speaking of like end kill, I did like the snowman wag on view. That was quite nice.
I know. I was like,
you hardly ever see snow. You hardly ever see it. Or ice. So it's good to see it.
Yeah, it was funny too, because like after that happened, I was like, should I play it off or should I admit that I accidentally didn't white him at the end? Because like I meant to menu down twice and I just missed it. So it was like when the blizzard clicked, I was like, oh my god, I hope this kills him because this could be really bad, and it finished him off.
The funny thing is when it happened, RPC and I went, he's been counting damage, he knows, that's swaggy, that is. Complete mistake. That's completely alright.
Yeah, like I said, I was just like, should I pretend like that was total skill? I don't know.
It's very noble of you to say that it wasn't error.
Hey, as long as it worked and Zoo went down, that is the only thing that matters.
Oh yeah, with the smiley face snowman, that's the best.
Exactly, that's like the ultimate insult for him doom dancing you like 50 freaking times during that battle.
Oh yeah, he opened up with a doom dance every time, but he missed I think every time, but he was really going for it.
Yeah, you even got the double doom dance at one point there.
That second reset was beautiful. It was beautiful. In an absolutely horrifying way. The one that you gotta scrub your eyes out because you don't want to remember that. But there's beauty in horror, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
Beauty in horror.
Yeah, if you play this game, you gotta really enjoy those moments because otherwise you can't race this game. It would drive you insane.
Agreed.
So in terms of the tournament, you did lose your first game against Mark B. It was a very, very close game, so that puts you at 1-1 now. Which means that you've got obviously the top two go through from each round. You've got one more race against Tiefblau, who I'm not sure has done a race yet. But A, do you have that scheduled, and B, do you know much about him as a runner? Do you know how good he is? Is it going to be a close race?
I mean, people have been grinding in the background, but we did an 11-man race on Mystic Monday, and I think he was running about 240, but that was like 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, for all I know, he's tightened it up to a 215. It's it's hard to keep track of everybody, but it might come down to Pazuzu's tower. I'm not sure, but it just depends how much he's been working in the background. But
yeah, you don't really know how much someone is grinding, do you?
Yeah, I mean, if it's the same as that race, I should be okay to move into the next round. But yeah, you never know because Like the last tournament I was in with Donkey Kong Country, we had a guy that had what, a 53-minute PB, and then by the time of his second race, he was down to like 36 minutes or something. It was crazy.
Dang.
Like he was a 4th seed and he made it to the next round. It was like, so you just never know with these racers. They put in the time.
Oh,
Netara has lost BB. No. Oh man.
That's part of the
Fire.
problem with this Wyvern fight, just because the fire does so much damage without a resistance to it. So usually we would wait until they drop a little below half, but you can't do that in this battle. You have to heal Phoebe a lot sooner, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Well, the worst part is he can go first sometimes. That's what happened on one of my resets with him, right? Is he fired Phoebe and I went to cure and he fired her again before the cure went off.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. You're fired. No, come on, that one was too easy. Phoebe, no.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the VOD because I always enjoy your guys' commentary, so that'll be fun to listen to.
Oh, well, thank you.
Very kind of you.
Yeah, I think Bowie and I are both a little tired and delirious today, so it was extra amusing.
There was a point. You hit this point as a runner when you're doing the tree. You get to like the third of it. You know, you've just done the that massive slog with like the 73 double worms or triple worms, and you just like you start you know when you start like hearing color. It kind of starts happening through the end part of the tree. I don't know. The conversation has been completely off topic for a good like 5 minutes, but you know, yeah.
I want to know what you're on. That you're hearing color.
Mystic Quest. I'm on Mystic Quest. It's also 1:30 in the morning, so you know.
I know, but it just amused the hell out of me.
Oh yeah. This game will make you delirious, that's for sure. That's why you can only run it like once a day at most, or once a week on Mystic Monday. Like if you're doing more than that, you start to lose it a little bit.
Yeah, see, like as a runner personally, I'm one of those people who like I'll pick up a game like because I have a bit of a horrible way of kind of describing myself. I'm a bit of like a variety speedrunner. I have a bunch of like different RPGs that I run, and I'll run them all like dedicatedly over the course of my career, but there are some times I just kind of pick up a game and just play that and that and just that. And I think when I was running this game, like I think it was 2 years ago now, I think there was a good period of just grinding that game out 8 hours a day, and it's kind of like I don't know, it's kind of like a Vietnam flashback for me now.
Well, see, the problem is now that I've bought Bowie's PB, now he's got to pick it back up again.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh.
I never actually got the sub 210. Yeah.
Opt your PB today.
Dang,
It's
the challenge.
So you got to take it back, man. You can do it.
Do I have to? Should we do like an exhibition race, like me and Feasel, having a little cheeky go at this game? Press 1 if you're game, Feasel. Just every other button on the keyboard.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see you on Mystic Monday. It sounds like for a couple races, huh?
Man.
Well, now that summer vacation is starting soon, I can actually join you guys for about a month and a half worth of Mystic Mondays, so I'm excited.
I've got some things to go through first.
Oh yeah. Hey, aren't you doing that charity, the Final Fantasy V charity?
Oh yeah, I'm doing multiple 4-job fiestas, yeah. Started one today, which was interesting. Yeah, this is completely off topic, but loads of other things. Netara's on the on the final floor on the Z section, by the way, so everyone knows we're doing a horrible job now of continuing commentary. But yes, there's a bunch of stuff going on, so there's a lot. There's always something going on that's like unique and fun for the speedrunning scene. So if you are kind of like new to speedrunning, do check out all of the different things.
Just one thing, make sure you pick games that you enjoy, because you're going to be playing them a lot.
Yeah, I just started speed running in December of last year, and I'm still trying to find all the little communities because like there's RPG, Limit Break, there's speed gaming, obviously, and just every time I try to like communicate with all the runners and stuff, and there's just always some unique thing I miss where it's just like, oh, look at this charity event, like I had no idea. There's just so many things going on. It's great.
Yeah, I joined this past December, so I'm really new to most of this, and meeting people for the first time at Limit Break and seeing the great communities and the people, it's fabulous. So, I mean, almost everybody in this community is just very kind, they're very helpful. So if you ever want to pick up a game, I'm sure you'll find plenty of help out there.
Oh yeah, that's a great part about the speedrunning community is like no one's really trying to like bogart their information to keep their ranking or whatever. No one cares. It's just if we can get that time down, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, maybe some people. But...
Yeah, there are some exceptions.
That sort of thing, but it's not anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah, it's just that hasn't been my experience.
One of the things that when you kind of speedrun, because obviously it is a very competitive act. I personally take it as a competitive thing. I'm incredibly being a competitive person. Like it's one of the best things about, and you know, tournaments like this are good as well. You know, RPGC and I kind of when we're doing commentaries as well, like to always kind of offer like insight, which is kind of like good for feedback and learning to improve, and you know, ways in which you can kind of deal with the pressure that you're under in. You know, situations like this. And the thing about this compared to any other kind of competitive environment is that you're not directly up against people who are also playing. You're up against the game. The game is the one stopping you, or is the thing you're trying to beat. It's a little bit different. Like, yes, you're racing someone to be done first, but you're not racing each other directly. It's kind of like via the game. You know, you have this medium in between. So it's important to kind of like let that go, that you know, someone, if you've been running the game for ages and then someone comes along and beats your time, a time that you know you thought was unbeatable, or a time that you thought was really, really good, and someone comes and does it with ease, that doesn't really say anything about you or them or anything. That's just kind of the way in which speedrunning works. If someone puts in a lot of work and struggles to get through something that they put in the work to get there, that's just as important and just as necessary as someone who then uses that work done to then pick up a run quicker. Because the legwork's been done. It's a group effort to get their game as fast as possible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're only going to run into a very small amount of people who get super, super angry if you try to beat their PBs.
Yeah, I mean, for me, especially, like, because there's a few games I run outside this, and, like, I would love to have more racers play some of those games, because, like, it's hard to keep that motivation when you're already, like, say you're a world record holder or you got a really good PB, you're like, I'm good. But then if people come by and start to put pressure on that, it's like, oh, maybe I need to go back to that game. Like, because if there's no one racing that game you're playing, you kind of lose that, like, you're just like, you know, I got the time, so I'll just sit on it for a year or something. So I always encourage people to play games that I'm in.
Yeah, that's always nice. You know, you should be able to thrive off of the competition, or thrive off of the idea of, hey, you know, I have all these great routing ideas. Let's use them.
Oh yeah, because you never know, that could be the guy that finds that glitch, right? And then everyone saves 10 minutes. So.
Yeah, because I know the skip for Firebird here, even in this game, is relatively newer compared to the rest of the run.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it being discovered actually. I think I joined Twitch like 4 years ago, and I remember I was first watching Volters, Elmagus, and FF Gamer running this game back when like PB's like 230, you know. And that was kind of like the height of the game. And then suddenly, you know, this new run comes out, and then Elmagus is just, okay, there's something new here, watch this. And we're just like, oh my god. Yeah, I think it's just a couple of years old, like 3 years old now, which doesn't, it sounds quite old, but it's really not that old really. But yeah, kind of nuts how late things can be found. But you can't get too precious about. You can't get too precious about that. You know, even if something becomes, you know, even if it invalidates something else or it like overrides the usefulness of something else, doesn't make what it was before any less worthwhile for the time that it was there. You know?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like the worst thing that could happen is the game is like dead because it's like this is as good as it ever gets. You know, you're always hoping there's that one thing that could shave 5 seconds off and bring people back into the game. So yeah, it's great to see that. And yeah, 3 years. I mean, considering these games are what 20, 25 years old, it's like 3 years ago. That's incredible.
Feels old, man.
God, yeah, we're getting on. Right, with that in mind, crikey, Zoo is happening, and Zoo is getting flared to the end of his days. Yeah, I like the option to kind of go for the offense here. Yeah,
because even if Ben drops, it's not the biggest deal.
Fun sorry.
If Ben drops here, it's really not the biggest deal.
Yeah. Also, thank you very much for me. Feel free to hang around for a little bit until the end. But thank you very much for the interview. Hope you guys kind of, I don't know, liked it. And Boarum, again, GG, congratulations on your victory.
Thanks, Bowie, and thanks, RPG Chick. I appreciate it, and thanks for the interview.
Sure, have a good one, Boarum.
Okay. Paint me like one of your pencils.
Bowie's stealing my lines. I see how it is.
See, like that works with English colloquialism because you know we call girls birds. Do you have that in America? Because like back in the day, back in like the 60s or whatever, it was like, hey, let's get kicks. But you know, we used to say bird.
He's a bird. I am allowed to say this thing. Okay,
No,
and
I know.
weird.
I wasn't debating that whatsoever. Zoo's down! Congratulations. Many clappers.
And I think that was only one fight, too.
I was going to say, yeah, that was first time, wasn't it? No, I was saying it's fine to say bird, because I'm just saying that I was wondering if that was colloquially accurate for you as well, because, like, the original line is paint me like one of your French girls. In England, one of the colloquialisms is to call a woman a bird. It's just a horrible word, obviously. Horrible colloquialism, but like it reminds me of you know, back in the olden days when you know America, you know, like the greasers would walk around and be like, let's go pick up the chicks. So do you? I assume you. It doesn't matter.
Well, we have chicks, obviously, hence you know part of my name, but bird we don't usually use over here.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, Dark King music. Fight. Level 21. Okay.
Well, she did have that floor 6 Pazuzu, so that definitely contributed to her level.
Okay. So there is the Cure 24,000. I'm gonna go with the Cure again. What's that? Oh, nice defense on that one. Cure back onto him. How amusing. Is that all you can muster? Yes, it is. Why are you asking? I'm trying to heal you, bro. I'm having a go. And GG.
So, Netara has an official SRL time of 2 hours, 37 minutes, and 53 seconds, but it is over a 20-minute PB for her.
Not over, but it is almost.
Way to go, hun. I knew you could do it.
Yeah, floor 6 definitely helped. It's the first floor 6 I've actually gone, and as soon as I saw
Tara
it, I was
has an
like,
official SRL time of 2 hours.
It was great.
Oh, I'm so happy for you, hun.
Yeah, me too.
It was very, very well done.
Thank you.
Well, that was your third full run, I believe you said?
Third full completed run, yes. I've done some other like partial runs and partial completed runs, but yeah, that was my third full run.
No worries, excellent.
Yeah.
So as a new, obviously a very very new runner, I picked the game up for the tournament, I believe.
Yes, or I picked it up 1 or 2 weeks before the tournament and went, hey, this is an excuse to buckle down and learn it.
Yeah, exactly. So as a new runner, kind of what was the kind of like the key learning for you, and kind of what is the kind of thing that you're most like focusing on at this point?
There's kind of two things. The biggest, which I'm still using guides for, is just the enemy pack formations, like how do I attack which ones. And the one which I'm getting the more I practice is just the maps, like knowing where to go. I was actually a little worried I'd get a floor on Pazuzu I wasn't used to, because where I haven't done it enough, I'd be like, welp, on to the maps. Let's see if I can figure out where to go. But thankfully, that was not the case. So yeah, those are the two biggest things for me. But again, the maps is just keep playing, and every run you just learn more of the run itself and where to go.
Agreed. Enjoying it though?
I love it. It's really good. I gotta say, I don't personally enjoy this game casually, even though I grew up playing it all the time. But as a speedrun, I find it incredibly fun, and there's lots to do with it, and lots of swearing when Pazuzu hates you or whatnot. There's just so much RNG, but I find I can't even get mad because that's not me, that's the game. Though I definitely swear on me when it is me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I find it kind of intriguing as well that you say that you don't like it casually, but you love the speedrun, where I've personally found it to be kind of the other way around. But I mean, of course I enjoy speedrunning, but it is a bit tricky. As it gets faster and faster, the little details that kind of start eking out of it is kind of where it really gets really intriguing, and then it unpacks itself.
It definitely does.
And it's kind of good that you're getting those things like the enemy formations down, because they're the big kind of things you're going to be looking out for as you go forward.
They really are. You only really need to play this through once or twice to really realize how important all of that is.
One thing I'll say is, because we noticed it, and it's one of those things that everyone's done it. Just you have exit. Just remember you got exit every now and then.
Trust me, I'm a Final Fantasy IV runner too, and I do the exact same thing in Final Fantasy IV. I'm gonna walk out. Wait, I've got the spell to warp me out of here. Why am I walking? But I'm getting better every time. Like even that run, I was using exit more than usual.
Yeah. What I think's really really funny as well is that it's something I genuinely did. Is you realize you've got exit when you're literally like 2 steps away from the exit to the actual village, and you use exit anyway, just to say, you know what, I'm going to use you.
At least I remembered. If I get in the habit of using exit there, maybe I'll use it when I'm supposed to use it.
The only other thing, Netara, is in the beginning of the game, you need to make sure you mash that A or B button, because I'm pretty sure you're probably just holding it down, but it makes the behemoth fight much slower. If you actually mash the buttons while you're battling, it'll make the text boxes go a lot faster, and you're gonna ace that sub 230 next time. Right now I only hold down the button in the actual battles themselves, because that's the only time it's faster. Or are you telling me there's a fight here? No, I'm telling you it's faster to mash it during the battles.
Okay,
so
cool.
when you menu, holding it down in the menu, that's where it's faster. But when the actual attack comes out, where it says Benjamin attacked with the steel sword, you have to clear that text box. You can't just hold it down. If you clear that text box, it immediately comes out.
Good to know.
Hold down menus, mash for the actual animations, then hold down menu again.
Will do.
So yeah, that's a small little note, and that will kind of speed up the majority of the fights for you as well.
I'm sure it will.
That was your first race, I believe, wasn't it? Of the
yes, it was. My first race, yeah.
Do you have your other 2 set up or ready to go, or kind of like organized?
I have one of them set up, or I think I'm just waiting for confirmation, but most likely it's set up.
Do you have any time to practice beforehand, or are you going to go straight into it?
I'm going to go straight into it.
Okay. Well, is it tomorrow or something? Or?
No, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday. No worries. Going to be putting in any extra practice beforehand, or?
I can't.
It can't work.
Basically that. And I honestly, I get a little bit of practice, but I'm doing these tournaments for fun. I don't have the time to get it to the point where I can do well enough. So especially in a group with people whose PBs are already way above mine. So I'm just here to have fun. So that's basically it.
Excellent. It's the most important thing.
Yeah, I hope so.
But yeah, okay.
But
well-
chat peoples, you know, these two worked really hard for you today. So hey, make sure you give Netara and Boarum some follows. I just linked you their Twitch addresses in the chat.
Indeed. Both very, very good. They put on a great show here and very eloquent in your interviews afterwards as well, guys. Thank you very much for the insight.
And thanks for the commentary. Don't forget to follow our great commentary who have commentated this run for the last like almost 3 hours.
It's our pleasure. It's what we do.
It is. It's very enjoyable.
Yeah. Thank you very much for putting on such a great race. I
Anytime.
believe. Do you know if there's anything else coming up afterwards on Speed Gaming?
I think
RPGC?
if it's still going on, I think there's a Mega Man X3 match going on Speed Gaming 2. But if that is over as well, then that is it for tonight.
Excellent. Well, whatever happens afterwards, make sure you guys enjoy it. Hope you've enjoyed the races today. Keep loving the speed running. It's obviously yes, thanks to Feasible as well. So
Feasible is awesome. Restreaming everything.
Yeah, I think he's got like 17 PCs open with just different things. He's just kind of like clicking on everything and just. He needs more hands helping. But yeah, shout outs for him for doing so much, and he's going to SGDQ next week as well. He's just never ending. But yeah, so apparently Feasible said that is it for the races tonight. So thank you very much for watching and hang out here on Speed Gaming. You got anything else to run by, RPGC?
Well, I hope you guys come back for the rest of the Mystic Quest matches that are coming up over the next week.
Yeah, exactly. Don't miss them if you want to catch all the action here at Speed Gaming. So yeah, I guess that's it for today, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you very much, guys.
Have a good night.